Entertainment and Sports Network.
They called Detroit Hockey Town, and certainly the weather for it today, cold and chilly, but it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Detroit Tigers in the second game of a four-game set at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with John Flaherty and Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Tough loss for the Yankees last night to start the series 2-1. Tough because CC Sabathia pitched so well. In fact, it was a complete game effort for the left-hander. Yankee offense couldn't do the job. In fact, a lot of the action took place seventh inning on.
Well, offensively at all. Good defense throughout the game. CC Sabathia had it going, but sooner or later they're going to get to you. Cespedes 6 RBIs the night before, but the big one last night, the go-ahead when he scores here in the bottom of the seventh. You get to the top of the eighth, the Yankees smile on your face. Gregorius comes up with a big hit. Davis is playing so shallow, not much you can do. Can't turn it back on when you've turned it off. They don't score. Next play, double play. Yankees out of the inning. Don't tie the game.
And the Yankees lose 2-1. Let's take a look at tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Kyle Lobstein's going to go for the Tigers, 1-5.40. And for the Yankees, Nathan Eovaldi looking for his first win as a Yankee. Last time out against Baltimore, he showed some of his really nasty stuff, John, but he threw too many pitches.
Well, everybody knows he has a big arm. The slider is a great pitch for him. He can dot the fastball when he wants to, and it's about 98 miles an hour. In this game, he had 9 strikeouts. He gave up 8 hits. You're right, the pitch count a little bit too high. The Yankees looking for some more length at him tonight.
Now, he would like to have the defense that the Yankees had behind CC yesterday. Boy, Glove was a many-splendored thing. When we come back, Meredith Morakovitz will explain the tightened-up defense of the Yankees next on Yes.
Game 2 of the 4-game series between the Yankees and the Tigers set to get underway in just a couple minutes. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Morakovitz. The Yankees defense was really struggling to start the season, but even through those struggles, Joe Girardi said, I know these guys are just too good for it to continue. Well, he was right last night. It seemed as though the defense really turned things around the last couple of nights, but last night in particular behind CC Sabathia, they were very good, and it started with Brett Gardner in left field, robbing Victor Martinez of an extra base hit as he ran into the wall. Then a couple innings later, it would be Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury actually said after the game in the clubhouse he didn't think he had a shot at this ball, but he managed to cover a lot of ground and get there. And don't forget the infield as well. They turned 3 double plays, including getting Miguel Cabrera to ground into 2. So a big deal out of the defense. They're hoping it continues. Time will tell. You know, the offense, as far as Detroit is concerned, is never ending, 1 through 9. A lot of guys you have to worry about. So Nathan Eovaldi will have his work cut out for him this evening. He's just hoping the defense continues to work behind him. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. Michael Kay, Paul O'Neill, and John Flaherty coming your way next with Lineups First Pitch Baseball right here on Yes.
By Subway restaurants. Get any footlong for $6 or less, April only. Subway, eat fresh, limited time only at participating restaurants. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. By TriStateGMC.com. And by RE/MAX. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX. It is a chilly one here in Detroit. The Tigers have taken the field. And the Yankees lost the first game of the series 2-1. Try to even it up tonight. Let's take a look at their starting lineup, put together by Joe Girardi and presented by Lexus. Yankees are 6-7, and they will lead off their center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury. Brett Gardner's in left, batting second. A-Rod, the DH, will hit third. Cleaning up, first baseman Mark Teixeira. Brian McCann will catch. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field tonight, Chris Young. Chase Headley is at third base. He'll bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the shortstop, Stephen Drew. And Gregorio Petit is the second baseman, and he is going to bat ninth. You can see Girardi is bundled up against the elements. It is supposed to be close to freezing once the sun goes down here in Detroit. Those are the numbers on Lobstein. 1 start, 1-0. He gave up 8 hits in 5 innings, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So Lobstein is ready. Ellsbury is ready. Lefty against lefty. And let's do it here in Motown. First pitch is outside, and we're underway. And let's take a look at the Tri-Honda scouting report.
Well, first things first, he usually gets off to a tough start. 6.43 ERA in the first inning of all of his starts, and under 4 after that. He was the next man up. It's his second start filling in for Justin Verlander. Got a win his last time up. He's pitching a little bit different, throwing a sinker ball now instead of the 4-seamer. Usually, Flash, when you get a win your first time up, you don't change many things.
Popped up behind the plate and out of play.
When you watch Lobstein pitch, velocity is not his game at about 86 miles an hour. Paul told you he will sink it, he will cut it, throws a changeup and occasionally a curveball. I looked at his velocity today. It's pretty much 86 to 80. As a hitter, boy, it doesn't get much better than that. There's not a whole lot of separation.
It's the guys that make you mad when you go home. That ball's ripped, and there you go. Ellsbury, the last 2 at-bats, hammered both of them. Won a big double play last night in the 8th. And then right here, the ball just hit right on the nose. Not even out of the box, and you know it's caught.
So one loud out, and Brett Gardner will come to the plate. Lobstein likes that.
He doesn't have the build of the crafty lefty, the 83 to 85. I mean, he's a big guy. He's got a big, long, kind of a tall angle. He just doesn't have the arm speed.
He's got big shoulders like Andy Pettit out there, right?
There's a two-seamer, runs in on Gardner, just misses.
Yeah, I looked at the changeup velocity, 80 miles an hour. It's only 6 miles an hour off of the fastball. And as a hitter, well, your location better be good, because as a hitter, you don't have a whole lot to worry about. You look middle of the field, and you quick react. If you're late, you slap it the other way.
Well, there are pitchers that are pitchers, and I mean, he uses everything, all quadrants of the plate. But these are the guys that you go in, and it's like, how can I be 0 for 2? How can I be 0 for 3? There's some guys that will blow you away, and you just say, all right, this guy's good. But, Lobstein is a guy that you're going to see something to hit, and you basically get yourself out.
Yeah, and it's like a count here, a hitter's count. You can't try to do too much. You're going to roll it over and get yourself out.
There's that fastball for a strike. Count 3-2. And the payoff. And he walks Gardner. All right, let's check out the defense for the Tigers presented by Geico. Cespedes, Ghost, who has great speed in center, and J.D. Martinez in right. In the infield, Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, and Cabrera third to first. Avila is behind the plate today, and Lobstein's on the mound.
Geico went with a little rock music for you there to wake everybody up.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Here's A-Rod. Alfredo Simon started last night's game, and it was his mom's birthday. And she asked him for two things. I want you to strike out A-Rod and get a win, in that order. So he struck out A-Rod in the first inning, and he ended up getting a 2-1 victory.
How can your mom be rooting against A-Rod? What's up with that?
That was a pecking order. Strike out A-Rod and win. Now, he also said, remember, in 2 at-bats, he missed with breaking balls up around A-Rod's head. And he said, it was so cold, I just couldn't feel the baseball. He said, and with a breaking ball, that's where it really affects you. And we'll see with both of these pitchers if it affects them, because it's supposed to be colder tonight than it was last night. High fly ball. Left center. Plenty of room out there. Anthony Ghost makes the play for the second out as Gardner heads back. Let's look at the official game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It is 50 degrees right now. 20 miles per hour is the wind. Humidity 65%. Possible showers before 9 p.m. That's not good news. And the temperature is supposed to go through the 40s tonight once the sun goes down. So it's a clear, crisp day, almost autumnal in its feel. Here's Mark Teixeira. His home run yesterday in the second inning, the only run the Yankees could produce against 3 Tiger pitchers.
All right, in the cold conditions, pitchers can't get a grip on the breaking ball, so that's a tough night for them. Hitters hate it because you're afraid of getting jammed on a cold night.
Well, I mean, you've got the sweet spot on the bat. It's the only place you can hit a ball where it doesn't really hurt. I mean, off the end of the bat's worse, in my mind, than getting jammed.
Well, they got the heaters in full blast tonight.
You go over there sometimes and you put your bat handle right up to that heater and kind of forget about it, and it would actually start to flame, blacken it.
How about that? Teixeira goes the other way and will hit one to the wall. They're going to wave Gardner home. Martinez gets the ball in. Kinsler has no play. Gardner scores. It's an RBI double for Mark Teixeira. The Yankees are on the board with a run.
Tell you, those defenses, sometimes they'll go against you. Teixeira hits the ball down the right field line. Gardner's speed. So he tries to turn that ball over and just keeps it up, and Teixeira just hammers it down the right field line.
J.D. Martinez playing in right center field. Had to go a long way to get that. Brett Gardner scores easily.
Now with a left-hander on the mound and a runner at second, there are two infielders on the right side for McCann. Now Iglesias is shaded up the middle, but he's still on the shortstop side. McCann at 257, a home run, 6 runs batted in. With that RBI, Teixeira's now driven in a run in 9 of his last 11 games. That's his 10th ribby of the year.
Coming out of spring training, Michael, that were the question marks on some of the pitching, obviously health, and who was going to drive in the runs, and the guys that you had that you hoped were Teixeira, A-Rod, and now you've got to get Beltran in the mix where you get Gardner scoring runs, you get Ellsbury scoring runs, but you get McCann, Teixeira, Beltran, A-Rod driving in those runs. Then you've got a lineup that gives you a chance to win.
I think that's what's really submarined the Yankees the last couple of years. Everybody says the injuries to the pitching, but the pitching last year was pretty good.
Yeah.
They just didn't score enough runs. Off the end of the bat, foul. 2-2.
How spot on was my Tri-Honda pitching report, though, Michael? Lobster gives it up early in the first inning. Boom, first inning run.
You did your work on it. I give you credit.
A lot.
Yeah, during the ride yesterday, right?
Yeah. Flash had to add to it, though. He had to put a little B column because I didn't quite get through everything we needed to know.
There's a ground ball right to Iglesias. He settles and flips over to first, and that will do it. But the Yankees get a run. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 man left. It's the Yankees 1 and the Detroit Tigers coming to bat. Starting lineup put together by Brad Ausmuth. Anthony Gose in center field will lead off, batting second, and playing second Ian Kinsler. Miguel Cabrera at first base hits third. Cleanup hitters the DH Victor Martinez. J.D. Martinez in right field. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, the left fielder Yoenis Cespedes. Nick Castellanos, the third baseman, bats seventh. Batting eighth and catching Alex Avila. And Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, will bat ninth. And facing Cabrera and company will be the Yankee right-hander Nathan Eovaldi, who has already thrown a pitch this season at 100 miles an hour in 2 games, 4.35, 10 strikeouts and 10 in the third. A lot of hits, though. 16 hits and 4 walks, so that's 2 base runners an inning when you look at it that way, and that's got to improve. Now let's take a look at the Tri-Honda pitching report.
Well, more whiffs. We're talking about strikeouts. First start against Boston, 1 strikeout. Obviously, his second start against Baltimore, 9 strikeouts. And it was all about the slider, really, not about his fastball. None in the first outing, but 8 strikeouts in the second outing on sliders. And hold it right there. We talked about the bottom half of the lineup for Detroit. They have a little speed. Hasn't allowed a stolen base in 21 straight starts.
There's a strike to Gose.
Is that the pitcher or the catcher, Flash? It's both. Both. Working well together.
That one is chopped over the middle. Going to be a tough play. Petit cannot get a handle, and Gross reaches. That's going to be a hit. He would have beaten that out.
Well, Petit gets a start tonight. Gregorius gets a night off. Drew playing shortstop, the backhand, and Ghost runs well. It's really going to be a do-or-die play for Petit. He can't come up with it. Well, infield single to get things going for the Tigers.
Here's Ian Kinsler. Now, we mentioned how he keeps the base running game in check, and he has to, because despite electric stuff, he gets a lot of base runners against him. So there'll be people on base.
You can't complain about that first one. He threw a slider. The ball wasn't hit hard, just in the right spot. But you know, for this lineup, you get through it, some guys are going to make some solid contact. Just too good a hitters, too good a lineup.
Well, you talk about that slider, and I had a conversation with Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, today, and he said it really is a key pitch for Eovaldi, but he also said he's got to get better throwing the fastball in off the plate. His fastball is straight. He misses out over the plate, and that's why all the base hits against him. You got to start moving some people off the plate.
Keeping it close at first.
I thought he was going to tell me the split finger is going to be a big pitch, and he said, not really. It's the slider that really can be a big strikeout pitch.
Now, they want him to stall because they're thinking they might have gotten him at first. Joe was on the phone there, but once Eovaldi stepped on the rubber, you can't challenge.
See, that's 96, and from a fan's point of view, you're thinking, let's look at this and see if he is out. But you see 96, and you know, anybody in their right mind would take a pitcher who throws 96. It really opens your eyes. But middle of the plate, kind of that sidearm delivery where the hitter gets a good look at it. You still have to spot that ball when you don't have a lot of movement.
I think you just said it all right there. Though you watch some of the swings against Eovaldi, 96, 98, and it looks like hitters are all over him. And it just tells you you're seeing the ball early out of his hand. So it probably plays, what, 92, 93. And that's something you could add a little deception, close that front side up a little bit.
Pitch out.
These are things that Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, is going to be tinkering with all year long. You know, get the slider where you want it to be, get him pitching off the plate inside a little bit, and then maybe add a little deception as the year goes on.
Misses, but that's a good slider. But, you know, don't get me wrong, it's always good to have, you know, a power pitcher in your rotation just to break up the thing. I mean, I don't care where you throw it. You throw a ball 100 miles an hour, you'll get the hitter's attention. So, you know, he's your power guy. Pineda can be at times, but he's the guy that can overpower you on giving nice with a fastball.
This should be two. There's one, and there's two. So he gets a double play as the Yankees turn at 6-4-3. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense behind Eovaldi. And it is presented, as always, by Geico. Gardner, Ellsbury, and Young in the outfield left to right. In the infield, we've got Headley, Drew, Petit, and Teixeira. That's third to first. McCann behind the plate again, and Eovaldi is on the mound.
Boy, what a relief when you see this guy walk to the plate with bases empty and 2 outs instead of something going in the first inning.
You know, you mentioned yesterday how Miguel Cabrera's lifetime average of over 320 is a legitimate one because there aren't a lot of infield hits. He has 2,206 career hits, Paul. 88 of them have been infield hits. 4%. Third lowest amongst active players with at least 1,500 hits. Victor Martinez, 2.4% of his hits infield. Adrian Gonzalez, 2.8%. That one is driven to the outfield, but right there is Gardner, and that will do it. No runs a hit, and because of the double play, nobody left. We go to the second. 1-0 Yanks. Yankees, we start the conversation with this. With the additions of Addison Russell and Chris Bryant, what do you think of the makeup of the Cubs infield? Roar 925. The Cubs put themselves in a great position of good young talent for years to come. Should be fun to watch. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. Well, the Cubs went against what everybody else was doing. Everybody else drafted pitching. And the Cubs said, well, you know what? The way the game is now, we can get pitching. Nobody's developing hitters, so they drafted all these hitters, and the trades they made, they got themselves hitters, and they've got some hitters in the pipeline.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch Bryant, some of his swings, and obviously the spring training that he had, but they did send him down to get that extra year for free agency. But is Joe Madden going to be that guy that finally gets the Cubs to the World Series and wins one? You have to wait and see. I mean, you know a lot about Madden. It seemed like his strength was developing pitching and good fastball changeup guys from the minor leagues. Now to have some hitting to go with that might be a good formula.
You know what I think Joe Madden's greatest strength is? Taking young players and teams that don't have a lot of expectations and changing that and making them believe they can win now, as opposed to, we're a couple of years away. No, they buy into what he says, and we're going to find a way to win this year. I still think they're probably a year away.
3-1. Young fouls it away. It's 3-2.
Well, how about you sign a pitcher in John Lester and he's having trouble throwing to first base?
Yeah, that's
an issue.
Weren't they?
That's an issue. Hasn't gotten off to a good start either. The ERA is elevated.
And Young works a leadoff walk. Second walk by Lobstein.
Well, nothing against Lobstein, but if you're the Yankees coming into this series, you're happy that you get a shot at him. Number 5 guy in a rotation. These are the guys you gotta do some damage against. Get that batting average where you want it to be.
You need to put runs in the run columns, what you need. I mean, you need to have some. You got to figure that with this lineup in a 4-game series.
Cabrera,
the wind taking that one. Cabrera. Again, we talked about it last night, and now rain falling. The wind really affects the ball here because of the outfield is open, and right field is low, left field is low, where the wind can come in. It's not an enclosed stadium. Cabrera just basically threw up the hands there. I got no chance.
Yeah, it's whipping pretty good. Nice feeling as a hitter right there. You think you're walking back to the dugout.
This is a lot of foul territory for one of the newer ballparks. Usually they don't build them like this, but kind of fair for the pitchers. Not quite the Oakland Coliseum, but a lot. Foul back. Ballpark in downtown Detroit, right next to Ford Field where the Lions play. And in 2017, they're going to construct an arena for the Detroit Red Wings to play in this area as well. And the owner of the Tigers, Mike Ilitch, has really done a lot to try to revitalize the downtown area in Detroit. Count 1-2 on Headley. Sounds like a broken bat. This is an artist rendering of what District Detroit will look like. Red Wings very popular. We said at the open, they do call Detroit Hockey Town. And it will revitalize this area, which is the intention of building this ballpark in the downtown area. And
I was just looking and admiring the sunny skies and all those paintings, and then we look at reality.
Reality is not pretty. Yeah, people are heading for cover rather than even trying with umbrellas. They're trying.
Smarter than the average bear there. You show up with the umbrella. Good pitch to hit there. Took a little bit off but left it out over the plate.
How tough is it to hit with rain coming down?
Used to drive me nuts, and it wasn't really picking up the ball or even the grip on the bat, but a lot of times the rain would accumulate on the bill of your cap, and it would start dripping off there, and it would just, you know, kind of take your concentration away from looking at what you should be seeing.
Well, Headley battling Lobstein.
You know, sometimes, Michael, you're looking at a bat and you're like, you know, oh, he's battling, he's fouling off pitches, and I'm looking at some of the pitches he's missing, and it's like, you know, he's missing pitches more than, you know, kind of fighting them off. That was another pitch, a good pitch to hit up in the strike zone.
Home plate umpire tonight, Will Little. Now it's 2-2. Rest of the umpiring crew, Jerry Davis at first, Phil Cuzzy at second, and Tony Randazzo is at third. Fouled away. Now the Yankees on the road today wearing their road grays, but today is significant in Yankee history. 100 years ago today, the Yankees for the first time modeled pinstripes on their uniform. Now one of the most iconic uniforms in professional sports.
But it's funny because a lot of teams wear pinstripes, but you talk to anybody in the world and you talk about pinstripes, you think about the New York Yankees.
That's right.
Where do you get these little tidbits anyway? How come they give them to you?
No, I get them on the internet.
Oh. Flash, I wasn't on the internet. That's why I didn't get that. 100 years ago today.
2-2. Now here's another thing that I had written down on opening day. I never realized it. The Yankees did not have the interlocking NY on their home uniform from 1916 to 1935. So then after that, it became a fixture of the uniform, combining the NY with the pinstripes. And the road uniform has stayed primarily the same forever.
Now I'm going to test you. When did they put numbers on their back?
Well, it was definitely with Ruth and Garrett, because that's why it was 3 and 4. Popped up. Ian Kinsler lets it drop. So he is going to get Young at second, and they just replaced Young with Headley, so they get a slower base runner.
Long at bat here for Headley. 10 pitches, gets jammed and drops one in the middle of the field. Easy play for Kinsler.
Look at that.
Look, spring's on its way, Michael. Look over here in right field. Things have changed here dramatically.
Still raining, but the sun is coming out, a rainbow.
Pot of gold at the end of that.
You know, I'm Irish, man. I should go look, right?
I'll fight you for it.
Oh, we got a Flaherty over here, too, huh?
All right, John, I'll say 1921.
I don't know the answer. I thought you would.
Oh, my goodness.
That's like one of my questions.
Really?
Just throw it out there. I don't know the answer.
I thought you would know it. He's spewing facts over there.
Well, we got 8 innings to figure it out.
Boy, that is one bright, distinct rainbow. You know how you remember the colors of the rainbow?
How you remember them? There's only
just in order. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
Okay.
Fordham.
Yeah.
Kind of learned that in elementary school.
I was going to say that was before Fordham, too, right?
I don't want to give Fordham the credit on that.
I was more into dodgeball back then, Michael.
Watching Lobstein, I wouldn't think that he would be a guy a left-handed hitter would be awfully concerned about. We haven't seen that big breaking ball. I know it's early on. He's only had one start. Lefty's hitting .444 against him. I don't think you'd be too bothered by this.
Well, it's not overpowering, and it's just, you know, he doesn't have that much of a, you know, kind of a sidewinder. So you see the ball pretty well, and he's not going to throw it by you.
Right.
All right, John, we have an answer to your question. April 18th, 1929, first time the Yankees wore numbers, and they were in the order of the batting order.
29.
There's a base hit to right field off the bat of Stephen Drew as Headley moves to second. Paul, you'd have had to wait till the 21st player to come up.
Been on the end of the bench.
That's going to bring up Petit.
Drew got a pitch right over the middle of the plate, hammered it to right field. Just talking about, you know, he's probably not that tough, but you see where he left this ball. I mean, that ball right there, right down the middle of the plate, had two-seam kind of spin on it, but it didn't get it in. And when you're going to throw that two-seamer to a lefty, as a lefty, you want to try to run it in off the plate.
Here is Petit. One out. Yankees lead 1-0 on the Teixeira double in the first, threatening here in the second. Big cut for Petit. 0-1. Hey, Paul, a lot of people have asked me how you would have held up during the 19-inning game against the Red Sox. Close to 7 hours. You think you would have made it?
Sure. Don't you remember the time we played? We were playing Detroit. We had a doubleheader, and the first game I think went 17 or 18 innings.
Yes.
Those when you're playing them, they're fine. I mean, you just.
No, I didn't mean playing them. How would you have handled it up here?
I would have. Let's put it this way: I'd have been better off playing.
Petit pops up.
Did you have a post game that day?
Yeah, we did.
Really?
No, we did it as a station, but I don't think we did anything from the booth.
Did I was going to text you that night. Were you having fun? I don't know if
it was fun. It really was. It wasn't fun the next day for a day game.
Right. Those are the games, Flash, and you remember, it's just like you get through 9, 10, 11, 12, then all of a sudden you get in that panic mode. We've been here so long, there's no way you can lose this game. Because if you put that much time and effort into a one game, you burn out your whole pitching staff. Then the importance comes on. You cannot lose this game. It becomes almost doubly important.
Here's Ellsbury. 60 at-bats for Ellsbury, and he has yet to pick up an RBI.
Well, he didn't do anything wrong last night. Hit the ball right on the nose. It just happened to be at the second baseman. Kinsler turned 2 on it. Ended up being one of the bigger plays of the game last night.
The 60 plate appearances, the most for any major league player without an RBI. Now it's going to be 61 as he grounds it to Kinsler. And that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Yanks. Justin Verlander, strained triceps, out indefinitely. They just gave him an MRI the other day. Didn't find anything worse, but still he's not able to get back on the mound. Joe Nathan, strained elbow, close to returning. And Bruce Rondon throws about 100 miles an hour. Biceps tendonitis, he is out indefinitely. The loss of Verlander, it's tough. This is the first time he's ever been on the DL, and this is the beginning of his big money contract extension they gave him a couple of years ago. So they have 5 more years invested in him, and he's not the pitcher that he was when he was dominating American League hitters. Last year, he really struggled. Victor Martinez will lead off here in the second. And they shift for him. 3 infielders on the right side. And Headley shades up the middle. And they hit the ball right to Drew. Played him perfectly. 1 away.
I'm a little surprised Victor Martinez is in there tonight. You can see him running with a little limp. That left knee giving him trouble.
Now here's J.D. Martinez, and we'll also take a look now at the Chrysler hitter scouting report on J.D.
Well, J.D. Martinez was a 20th round draft pick of the Houston Astros, and they released him. He came over here last year, hit .315 with 23 home runs and 76 RBIs, and totally went through a swing overhaul. Kind of wanted to be like Cabrera with his left hand, inside out, driving the ball to right center field. Obviously it worked. It looks like he's the real deal. 5 home runs already. Young season, second in the league.
And a big assist has to go to their third base coach, Dave Clark, who was with the Astros. And when he came here and got hired to be the third base coach for Ausmus, one of the first things he said to Dombrowski, you got to pick this guy up. He can play. And he had a great year last year, and he's a force in that lineup now.
It's hard to imagine a team, and any team, but a team like Houston, to release a guy, and then he comes over here and hits 23, drives in 76.
Yeah, you don't see hitters as much as pitchers. Sometimes pitchers, you know, find something or.
That one's driven out to right field. Young can't get there at the plate on a hop. So a base hit for Martinez.
Talking about pitchers sometimes fall through the cracks, or they learn a cutter, they just makes them successful. But hitters usually can hit or they can't hit, and this guy is really adjusting.
And a lot of what they were saying about the swing overhaul is kind of this approach that you're seeing here. Inside out, drive with your left hand first, and he's so strong you can hit home runs to the middle of the field to right center. Obviously this is a base hit, but you can see how the approach is just inside out, middle of the field the other way, and huge numbers last year.
Cespedes takes inside, 1-0.
I'll tell you what, I've been so impressed with Cespedes. Even his swings and misses, just how quick his bat is. And you just know something's going to happen when he swings the bat because, I mean, he's on everything. The night before we came in here, he drove in 6. Big hit last night. He just is an offensive guy. Wow.
There's a double play. What a nice play by Teixeira as well. Evaldi threw it right in the dirt, but that's a 1-3 double play on the line drive up the middle off the bat of Cespedes. No run to hit, no errors, and because of that DP, nobody left on base. Quick reaction for Evaldi, quick throw, and a nice pick, and a tag with the glove for the double play. Daily Fantasy Baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code PINSTRIPES for free entry. Well, that's doing a good job keeping the Yankees warm. Both teams have those heaters in the dugout. As Brett Gardner, who scored the Yankees' only run on a walk and then scored on Teixeira's double, he leads off on the A3 scoreboard, the Audi A3 scoreboard. It's 1-0 Yanks. We were talking about the uniforms. You see New York across the chest. There's actually a 3-year period, I believe, the end of the 20s into 1930, where the Yankees wore Yankees across the chest on the road, which kind of would look cool. But this has pretty much been the design the whole time. Names on the bat, that's not the design. Swing and a miss.
Be the best pitch Lobstein has thrown tonight early on in this game. He's working on 9 days rest in between starts, being the 5th guy. We talked about it before, Paul, that he doesn't have a big breaking ball to the lefties. This is probably his best breaking ball right there, sweeping down and away.
So here's Alex Rodriguez. Fly ball to center in the first. 1-0. Now you saw that uniform that the fan was wearing with Jeter on the back. Derek did an interview for a website, and I think it was actually carried on Sirius XM, where he said he didn't really miss it at all. He said he's been keeping busy and going places and doing things. When you guys were out of it the first year, did you miss it?
There were times you would put yourself in a game or something like that, but no. I mean, you're doing things that you haven't had you haven't been able to do. To have a picnic on July 4th or to be home for Memorial Day and Labor Day. Those things that you just always want to do. Right,
but I think you're asking two guys who kind of walked out on their when they wanted to.
Right.
So the game wasn't taken away from us. I know, Paul, you retired when you wanted to, and I knew I was done when I walked away my last spring training. So I think that's the difference. You know that you don't want to do it anymore, and you have other things to do. And the kid who has the game taken away from him probably is watching going, I would love to be back there and miss it.
Absolutely. And there's probably nothing worse than a kid that had a chance to play and it was taken away by injury, and you got to sit here and wonder what if, And I always thought that coming to Detroit, it's funny, you were talking about Jeter. The fans, there was always kind of a buzz, and were actually kind of nice because they considered, Jeter kind of he wasn't from Detroit, but he was from Michigan. There was always kind of a hometown thing that, one of your hometowners were coming back.
Now, before anybody in Jersey gets upset, I know he was born in Jersey, but he did move to Kalamazoo with his family at a very young age, and they kind of claim him as their own. So you don't find it odd because he played 20 years, he did everything he'd want to do, and now it's on to other aspects of his life.
Well, I think once spring training comes around and you're not in that routine, all of a sudden it becomes real, and then do what you want. I heard he's playing golf now.
Yeah, he does play golf. Have you ever seen his swing?
And the reason it surprised me, I saw his swing and it was terrible. Everything went to the right side, just like his.
He insides out it like his regular baseball swing. But it won't be. It'll be a matter of time. I'm sure he's got the best of lessons and he'll figure it out. I
heard he was playing with Tino Martinez a little bit and things were getting better quickly.
Yeah, Tino said he's obsessed.
Yeah,
which we all become.
Now you would think a great athlete would figure it out. So how do you explain Charles Barkley?
Well, that's kind of a rare instant, and that's kind of in his mind. But, it's a different game. And a lot of the things that make you successful and the things you do in baseball are counterproductive in golf. They put you in the wrong spot. So you just figure, I'll learn a swing, I'll be as good as anything. Well, it's not that way. Just like every other sport. You're always trying to catch up with the young kids that have played things their whole lives.
So Teixeira works a walk after his RBI double in the first inning. Oh, here's you with your hole-in-one, right?
It's nice, isn't it?
Well,
Watch this, Flash.
But you know, when I watch your swing, it's so easy. And baseball was so violent.
Well, how long was that in the air?
It was rolling down on that hill into the hole. The only thing about it, the day before was worth $500,000. That day was worth nothing.
Wow.
Huh?
I feel bad. I feel really bad for you.
And look at Brian McCann going up against the ship, but he didn't get it past Lobstein. And that is the final out of the third. So a good thought by McCann with the whole left side of the infield open. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Yanks. Brought to you in part by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com or your local dealer today. By Blimpie. Try one of the new oven-fired artisan flatbread sandwiches. Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. And by your Tri-State BMW Centers. The skyline of downtown Detroit. It seems like it's a beautiful day when you just look at that picture, but it is quite chilly here in Motown. Audi A3 scoreboard shows the Yankees with a 1-0 lead over the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the third. So you got to give the Yankees credit today. Brian McCann tried to bunt against the shift. Mark Teixeira went to right field, batting as a right-handed batter. Yesterday they kept hitting into the shift. We go to the bottom of the third. Here is Nick Castellanos, who carries an 8-game hitting streak into the at-bat, 10 for 26. And he goes the other way and threw for base hit.
Tell you one thing, Evaldi, he's got out of some jams. He's got some double plays when he needed them, but you just know this lineup at some point is going to put together a string of hits or a home run or something. They're too good of a lineup offensively to shut down, 7, 8, 9 innings like we saw last night. So there's a lot of pressure on the Yankees offense to put some numbers in that run column.
Talked about his fastball, how it could be overpowering velocity-wise, but a lot of good swings. And one of the things you can try to do to combat that is throw some curveballs early in counts. Make that fastball look like it has a little more hop later on when you see it.
I was just going to say, a lot of guys who look like they're coming up, they're looking first pitch fastball. And, when you can't throw that breaking ball, if it's only a strikeout pitch, you can't throw it for strikes early in the count. A hitter will hit early in the count, obviously. That's the scouting report. It's a ball right there, and that's one luxury you do have when you throw 96 is, you know, even in a fastball count, you can go after somebody. You see Avila just behind this pitch. It's right down the middle. He was just behind it.
You know, when you watch Eovaldi pitch, though, he charges the hitters he attacks. You wonder when he's kind of get to that point where he takes a step backwards and almost tries to slow it down. You know, he hasn't gotten to that point yet where maybe I'm going to throw a BP fastball with a little bit of movement. He's kind of still evolving on what type of pitcher he's going to end up being.
2-2 on Avila.
Right now, everything is in attack mode. 2 fastballs and some hitters counts. You even it up 2-2. Will he go with the slider or the split here?
Still 2-2. The Yankees shift for the left-hander with 3 infielders on the right side. Avila is essentially the starting catcher, but James McCann is going to see more action than your typical backup catcher. He started yesterday. Lined into center field. It's a base hit in front of Ellsbury. Castellanos goes to second. And the Tigers have runners on first and second and nobody out. That'll bring up Jose Iglesias, and that brings us to the Honda League leaders. And Iglesias leading the American League in batting average by 1 point over Adam Jones. Then KC's Lorenzo Cain, Miguel Cabrera at 392, Prince Fielder, former Tiger, at 385.
The league leader right here. Both teams last night showed that they will bunt in these situations.
Well, if you're leading the league in batting average,
you get the bunts on, you kind of give them a double look down there.
That's right. Well, Headley weighing on the grass. He's expecting it. I don't think Eovaldi wouldn't be the easiest guy to bunt against. 96, 97.
Not bunting. 97 miles an hour.
Now, this is where, I know it's very difficult if you're a fastball pitcher throwing 97. That, if you could just learn that little two-seam fastball to get that ground ball, to get that double play when you need it. Avila, he had him in a situation where he had 2 strikes, but he had seen 2, 3 fastballs and a couple breaking balls. He had really nothing that Avila hadn't seen in that at bat. Or if you could throw in a little sinker and get that ground ball, boy, it would help.
I asked Larry Rothschild that today, the pitching coach. Are you working on a two-seamer? And he said that's kind of down the line. They got other things they're trying to clean up, and eventually he might get to that point.
Ground ball to Petit. Let's see if they can turn 2. There's one on to first. Not in time. Too much speed. Beat out the return throw. 1 away, first and third.
Well, it's frustrating because off the bat you're thinking 4-6-3. You're right, Iglesias runs well. He has a couple stolen bases already on the year. Gets out of the box in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it's such a big play when those guys, that speed can outrun the ball, keep that double play. Goes same kind of hitter from the left side too. They, good speed, very hard to double up.
Shows bunt, takes low.
That actually looked like he took a good pitch. I mean, took some more off of it, and got a bigger break. That's the pitch that you don't have to be perfect on as strike one. A lot of hitters won't. You go up there looking for 97. You'll take that pitch.
Boy, Eovaldi really has quick feet when he throws over to first base. See why he does a good job with the running game.
Tigers got Anthony Ghost from the Blue Jays, add some speed to their lineup. They sent Devon Travis to Toronto for Ghost. Devon Travis has played well for Toronto. Two and one. Three and one.
When you have a lineup like this in Detroit with all the big boys in the middle and all the power and the damage, the leadoff guy, the second guy, the 8 and number 9 guy, they get so many pitches to hit because you know you have to attack.
Right to Teixeira. And he's going to get Castellanos in a rundown. The tag out is made for the second out. Runners move up to third and to second.
There's Teixeira right there, knowing who's running. It's going to be very hard, even the ball hit right at him to turn 2. Get out of this inning. So you get the out at home, you save a run.
Good base running too by the Tigers. Couple of runners, second and third in scoring position now.
Brad Osmond's telling him, good job. Gave our runners time. But that's your job when you're caught in that rundown to get that extra throw, waste time, allow the runners behind you to advance another base. Detroit put them down. I mean, these are the outs that you look at the end of the game. I mean, it's such a huge at bat here. You get out of the inning with nothing, or you give up a 2 spot, and that's a big difference.
You give up a 2 spot, and you have Cabrera, Martinez coming up, possibly. You always look at lineups around the league, and what's the best place to hit in the lineup? Hitting second in front of that man. That's not a bad place to hit.
You never go up there the whole year thinking they might pitch around there. They're not going to give me anything to hit. They're coming right after you from pitch 1.
That one is looped to right field, backing up Petit, and he makes the play for the final out. So Eovaldi works out of a jam. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. 3 in the books in Detroit. It's 1-0 Yanks. playoff action and tonight's Major League Baseball games, plus all the latest rumors on the eve of the NFL Draft. You can watch Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 right here on Yes, immediately following Yankees coverage.
So is Winston, I mean, is it official? He's going to be the #1 pick?
No, it's not official. I mean, that seems to be the rumor that the Bucs would take him, but it's not official. Lincoln scoreboard 1-0 top of the fourth. And there's some rumors that maybe they could decide on Mariota. Maybe they could trade out the pick, but I'd say most people expect it to be Winston. Chris Young takes a strike.
Evaldi, another good job of keeping the Tigers off the scoreboard, but it's putting so much pressure on every pitch, every situation. Yankees need to throw up some runs here.
Hammered foul into the seats.
I always felt there were games when a club shows up in the clubhouse and offensively they say, you know what, it's on us tonight to get the job done against a #5 starter. You know, you have a lineup in Detroit that could put some runs out there. This to me is one of those nights. You got David Price tomorrow night. And you're thinking, you know, we got to go out there and throw 5 or 6 runs and give our pitcher a chance to win this game.
Some of the things we talk about Evaldi are going to come with confidence, and confidence comes with winning some games.
Yep.
You know, you go out and throw a couple wins up.
That one is drilled to left field. Giving chase is Cespedes, and it's a foul ball. It kept hooking.
Yeah, you face a pitcher who doesn't have a whole lot of velocity. Sometimes you're a little bit too quick out in front. And Young just hooked that one foul at a good pitch to hit. What a nice job Chris Young has done to start this season. 3 home runs already, 8 RBIs. And a little more playing time than expected with Carlos Beltran struggling a little bit and under the weather.
Grounded through for a base hit. So leadoff single for Young. He's walked and singled tonight.
Neither team having a problem getting base runners, but both teams having problems getting them in.
Well, here's Chase Headley. Reached on a fielder's choice. He popped one up in the infield, and Kinsler let it drop and got the force at second. Grounded to Castellanos. Let's see if they turn 2. There's one around the home double play.
Notice that with Headley, his first at bat from the right side going up there. Very aggressive early in the count. Rolls one over. Good feed to Kinsler and the strong throw.
Here's Stephen Drew. He singled his first time up through the right side of the infield. 3 home runs, 7 ribbies, despite an average under 180. 1-0. Now, most people look at this Tigers team and say, well, the offense is the reason that they've gotten off to a great start at 11-2. But Brad Ausmus said it's really been the pitching. He said our pitching has been outstanding. He said, I know what our hitters are, but we are where we are because of our pitching. I mean, 2 pitchers they acquired during the offseason, Alfredo Simon and then Shane Green, who came over in the 3-way deal that netted the Yankees D.D. Gregorius. They're each 3-0. So right there, those 2 have meant the world. Justin Verlander hasn't even pitched yet. There's a strike.
Guys are filling in from your stars, and they're filling in well. You don't have to rush those guys. I mean, you wait completely until he feels good. Justin Verlander said just throw a number out there, you know, middle of May, possibly June, who knows, but he might be, you know, better off throwing 3 or 4 months instead of the complete season. Might be what his arm needs.
Fly ball right field. J.D. Martinez puts it away, and that'll do it for the Yankees in the fourth. No runs are hit because of the double play. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 1-0 Yanks. Clean, crisp Coors Light, the most RBI since 2003. Miguel Cabrera at the top of the list, Albert Pujols, David Ortiz, and then a couple of Yankees, Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez. A lot of ribbies. Here's Miguel Cabrera to lead off. Lincoln scoreboard 1-3-0 for the Yanks, 0-4-0 for the Tigers against Eovaldi. Right off the end of the bat, foul back, 1-1.
You know, we started talking a little bit last night about how to get Cabrera out if you had to pitch to him, and it would really the only way is to throw fastballs inside off of the plate and get him moving, or at least thinking about that pitch. And then you recognize it and you go away. Right there was a fastball in, a fastball away, and he had a great swing. You can't just throw one in there and then go away, Paul. It's like you got to double up, triple up, get him confused and maybe cheating a little bit, and then you can go back out over the plate.
You know, because of his size and his strength, and we talked about Gregorius last night, on every swing looks like he's off balance. He looks like he has balance. Every swing, every take. He doesn't have to rush the ball inside because he can get to it, and he doesn't have to try to pull the ball because he's strong enough to drive it to right field.
This is an example of how strong he is. We'll take a look at the pitch by pitch. Fastball in, good pitch. Fastball away, good swing. Then you go to third pitch, fastball up. The fourth one in, and he fights it off. He gets jammed a little bit, to your point, Paul, how strong he is. I think middle of the field the other way and pick up a base hit.
That's because he can't feel that right hand. That's that jam shot when it's 47 degrees out. You still laugh about it when it's a hit, though. Nothing worse than when you feel that buzzing in your hands and you're sitting over there 0 for 2 or 0 for 3.
Well, here's Victor Martinez. His left knee has been bothering him. He had major surgery during the offseason. Missed the first part of spring training as he recuperated, but now he feels pain at the top of the kneecap unrelated to the surgery. But he said it's not pain that will keep him out of the game. He's just got to manage it, and if it starts to get worse, they'll have to think about sitting him down.
Good at bats last night. He hammered the ball to right center, left center, both of them great plays. One by Gardner, one by Ellsbury.
Also, despite not running well at all, he did score from second on that base hit to center field. And Ellsbury said, I didn't think I had a chance at him. He said because with 2 outs and a secondary lead, he was going. And He was touching third when Ellsbury fielded the ball. Not in deep center field, but certainly not shallow, so he didn't think he had a chance and got the out at third. One and two. CC Sabathia pitched the first inning yesterday, came into the Yankee dugout and said to one of his teammates, "This lineup should be illegal."
You don't hear that from a veteran pitching very often, especially somebody who's had success like CC Sabathia.
The appropriate headwear today is the ski cap for CC. Pitched very well, a complete game yesterday, but took the loss.
Dylan's candy store behind him. You see those big old jawbreakers behind him? All the colors in there. Look at it.
A little double bubble.
You've been into Dylan's, haven't you?
Dylan's is great. Yeah.
There's one at the stadium, right?
Yes, there is. I think the flagship is right opposite Bloomingdale's.
Mm-hmm. I was in there with the kids. I mean, that's better than Disney World to them. And again, I mean, you look at great hitters, and we looked at Cabrera and now Martinez. They swing at strikes. They're in balance all the time. You just look the way he took that last pitch. There's nothing in a rush. And even with 2 strikes, you're not in a panic mode where, you're trying to force things to happen. Victor Martinez is just one of the pure hitters in the game. With one there, kind of a hung a slider. Might have been just a little bit high. You see him asking the umpire, is that ball up?
It's up and it's a hanger.
Yeah, you see that spin not real tight. You see that spin, and it didn't have that little dot on it that had that good break. Those end up in the seats sometimes. Notice that pine tar on his left shoulder there. So you get that, pine tar goes, it doesn't even work when it gets real cold, but you get in front of those heaters in the dugout, get nice and sticky before you get to the plate. You have a long at bat, it hardens up on you.
Ooh.
Tough pitch there.
98 miles an hour.
Was that a good take by Martinez or just a pitch that was missed by the home plate umpire, Will Little? Probably down a little bit. McCann tries to bring it back up, but those are the pitches after a game you start thinking, you know what, if I would have gotten that one, things could have been a little bit different. We'll see how it turns out here. A 3-2 count.
Where it goes, and there's a ground ball, foul. Tony Randazzo put the hands up right away. Said foul ball.
It's part of the reason why he is so good. 97, and he just flick it the other way. Just foul.
Victor Martinez, he will hit from line to line. And I'll tell you what, that ball
caught that corner of the bag. Tough ball.
I'll tell you what, that ball looked fair for a long time, and all of a sudden made a left turn. Remember the old stadium, how the plate was kind of crooked at Tiger Stadium?
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, it was like left field. Sometimes you hit a ball down the left field line, you knew it was foul, and it ended up fair because the plate was off a little bit. You gotta know these things, Flash.
It's another level of hitting. I couldn't pay attention if it was straight, sideways.
I was always staring at that corner because I didn't like it when they called it out there.
Corner goes. Grounded foul, making Eovaldi work.
Well, if you're Brian McCann behind the plate and you've seen Cabrera run the last 2 pitches on the 3-2 count, trying to figure out a way to get a strikeout. It should be an easy throw out of Cabrera. Obviously not easy to do with Victor Martinez at the plate. It might be the split finger. You might be able to get a swing and a miss, strike him out, throw him out.
You see Martinez really working that pine tar. So that long bat. Long at bat, that pine tar on a cold night starts to not work for you.
Be the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming right here.
And he walked him. So first and second, nobody out. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, a pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Here's J.D. Martinez.
Martinez a big hit last night. Cespedes a good big hit. So, you know, now you're setting up an inning, and Cespedes to me is the hot hitter. I mean, 7 RBIs in the last couple games. So, you know, you feel all right. I walked a couple good guys. All of a sudden, now you're in trouble.
Well, I like that trip to the mound by Brian McCann as you see Cespedes on deck. That at bat to Martinez, 10 pitches, and you lose the battle by walking him. Need a little mental break. Get back into it here with Martinez up at the plate. It's a lineup that's relentless. You really mentally have to stay strong all the way through.
I tell you what,
he's 2 pitches now in this inning.
Yeah, that has not helped Eovaldi at all, and he's thrown some good pitches close. He really hasn't had command of the lower part of the strike zone, and both pitches that were, in my mind, you know, close, it could have gone either way, were in the lower part of the strike zone. He's been kind of up, middle up with his fastball.
Victor Martinez leads off first, Cabrera off second. Fouled away by J.D. Martinez, 1-2.
I mentioned earlier J.D. Martinez changing his swing and everything inside out going to right center field. He took a couple of shots early here trying to pull the ball, was out in front a little bit. See if he makes an adjustment with 2 strikes and kind of tries to fight the ball off the other way. That's where his power is, right center field.
They get him. Big strikeout for Eovaldi.
It certainly was, but this is a guy to me that scares me. And you know, this is a good slider because it ends up off the plate, down and away. It was close enough for a hitter to go at. So big out.
It's only the first strikeout of the night for Eovaldi. 9 strikeouts his last outing against Baltimore in 5 innings.
Vizquel, there's something. Guy who knows a little bit about fielding. One of the better they ever put on a glove.
Omar Vizquel.
He took hits from everybody. Got you a few times, I'm sure, Flash, huh?
Once he got a glove on it, you just put your head down.
And it looks so easy.
Now, Cespedes was part of the big trade last year between the Red Sox and the A's. And you figured they'd have Cespedes who would tattoo the wall for a couple of years, but they did not like the fact that he didn't take a lot of pitches, didn't walk that much, wasn't that disciplined, and they spun him and traded him for Rick Porcello, and then just signed Rick Porcello to a 4-year deal. There's a ground ball is short. This should be 2. There's 1. And there's 2. 6-4-3 double play off the bat of Cespedes. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. We go to the 5th. in a deal in the middle of last season. Bigelow T. The scoreboard shows us 1-0 Yankees as we go to the 5th. So Nathan Eovaldi has been helped out by 3 double plays. 2 of the more conventional sort on the ground, and the other one a line drive back to him, and he threw to Teixeira for the double play. CC last night enjoyed 3 double plays over 6 innings. So Lobstein, who got tattooed his last time out, has held the Yankees to just 1 run, and that was in the 1st inning. A walk by Gardner, and then with 2 outs, Mark Teixeira, batting right-handed, goes the other way and doubles down the right field line to score Gardner, and that's it.
Struggled a little bit the first 2 innings, kind of settling down now in the 3rd and the 4th.
Much better changeup.
Yeah.
He's starting to turn that ball over and get it out of the strike zone.
Foul ball down the left field line. So they do not start Gregorius against the left-hander. Petit starts at second. Drew moves to short. And Petit swings and misses for the first out of the 5th. And while we have time, let's go back to Bob Lorenz for another update in the studio. All right, thank you, Bob. We'll hear from Bob and Jack and Meredith on the post game as well, and throughout this game. Here is Jacoby Ellsbury. Jacoby's 0 for 2. And a strike. Jacoby lined one to Cabrera to open the game, and then grounded to second in the 2nd. He had a big at bat in last night's game and hit the ball as hard as you could hit the ball, but he hit it. He said, if I hit it anywhere else on the field, we would have tied the game. But he hit it just to the right of Kinsler, who started a 4-6-3 double play, and the Yankees had runners on 1st and 3rd, and they could not score. And that set Jabba Chamberlain to pumping his fist as he walked off the mound. That one is served into left field. Coming on is Cespedes for the 2nd out. This week, the Nets and Hawks first-round playoff series continues. Game 2 coverage starts tomorrow at 7 on My 9. Then on Saturday, the action returns to Yes for Game 3 as the scene shifts to Barclays Center. Complete coverage starts Saturday afternoon at 2:30 right here on Yes. Two away, here's Brett Gardner. Gardner walked and came around to score in the 1st, then struck out in the 3rd. We're in the 5th. It's Yankees 1, Tigers nothing. Although not the same sort of game, but the score almost a carbon copy of last night. You've got to give your pitcher a little bit more to work with, especially against a Tiger team that is offensively explosive.
The Yankees just come off a sweep in Tampa Bay. They were putting runs on the board. You hear about Detroit's offense and how great it is. In the first 14 innings or 13, 14 innings of this series, neither team have had, an explosive inning per se. A couple runs yesterday, but that was it.
Each team scored 2 runs since the beginning of the series.
The weather has to have something to do with that. Cold, a little rainy last night, windy.
Shows bunt, takes a strike.
I just felt early in the year, though, and you were going to have some cold nights, but just starting the year off, everybody offensively wants to get off to a great start. Always felt like your concentration the first couple months of the season were so good. It was this, you were in on every pitch. your at bats meant so much because every hit would take you up 10 or 15 points, and there's another one. Austin's rolling.
2 strikeouts this inning as he retires the Yankees in order. We're halfway through. It's 1-0 Yankees. Well, those were the thrills of the Yankees presented by Pepsi. Upload your Yankees pride using hashtag YankeesThrill for your chance to win an exclusive Yankee experience. Go to Yankees.com/YankeesThrill for more information. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, in the bottom of the order for the Tigers against Nathan Eovaldi. Breaking ball is inside, 1-0. Eovaldi's given up 5 hits, but he's kept the Tigers off the board. One of those hits by Castellanos, a single to right. That one's fouled away.
97 again. I mean, it's got to be fun for a pitcher to look back there and know that, I'm throwing 97. Usually when a guy has the ability to throw 97, that breaking ball is a little bit sharper. Just the arm speed and the way you release the ball to get that velocity makes every other pitch just a little bit better. Oh, nasty one there.
This is the pitch Larry Rothschild was talking about before the game, the slider. You're right, Paul. It's a little tighter now in the middle of the ball game. Some more swings and misses.
The bigger breaker then, and if you start working on an off-speed pitch other than the slider or the two-seamer possibly get to. I mean, this is 0-2. This is 1-2. Where you can use it to try to get just get another pitch going in the head of the hitter. I mean, right now, if I'm facing now, I know he's got great stuff, but it's fastball, breaking ball, and that's it. There's nothing else to look for. The fastball's straight, and the breaking ball's as a lefty, he's going to end up down and in.
Castellanos down looking for the first out.
Yeah, it's impressive. He's kept his velocity up. Another good breaking ball.
He's also kept his pitch count in decent shape. That's what got him out of the last game against Baltimore. But he's at 58 right now. 37 strikes, 21 balls, 1 out into the 5th. Here's Alex Avila. Shift is on for the lefty swinging catcher. And a strike.
I'll tell you, consistency-wise, the breaking balls he's thrown this inning has been as good as all night. I mean, sharp break. He's used both sides of the plate.
To your point, though, Paul, this would be a great at-bat to throw a few split fingers.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it so much in spring training. He was working on it. Tonight, it's pretty much fastball, slider, occasional curveball early. Mix up some splits here in the middle of this ball game and get them thinking about a third or fourth pitch.
Talk about his pitch count, Michael, and a lot of those pitches have been, stressful pitches. He's been in trouble. He's got at him. He's got some big double plays. I mean, this is back-to-back starts where he's thrown the ball extremely well.
'96 right by him, 2-2.
Different sound to that 96, 97, huh?
That one had a little something extra on it.
Michael, you on your A game tonight? I just got a text. Frank and Mary are tuning in.
Really?
It's like old times,
That puts pressure on.
Pick it up a little bit.
Evaldi heard that as he gets his second strikeout of the inning.
Strikeout with a breaking ball and then strikeout with a fastball by him. It was a good job of McCann, if you ask me, not going back to the breaking ball. He was behind the fastball before. Sometimes just don't outthink yourself. Just let the hitter tell you what you can get him out with.
Here's Iglesias hitting .429. Reached on a fielder's choice. That one is fouled back over the screen.
Talked earlier on Iglesias. I mean, he's hot. He's out there. But, we talked earlier how a lot of these guys come up looking first pitch fastball. Out in front, and out of sync he was there with the first pitch breaking ball. Ouch.
Ground ball in the hole, backhanded by Drew, off balance throw, and they get Iglesias for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. So a strong inning for the Yankee right-hander Nathan Eovaldi. We played 5 here at Comerica Park. Nice play by Stephen Drew ends this inning with the Yankees leading 1-0. Hottest collectibles of the season, it's Masahiro Tanaka bobblehead night, the first one in the 2015 collectible series presented by AT&T. For the first 18,000 guests in attendance. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. And Masahiro has made the trip to Detroit, and he's ready. Pitch on Thursday afternoon. A-Rod leads off. And the first pitch from Lobstein is a strike. A-Rod flied out to center and then popped to second.
Can you imagine Tanaka throwing with no sleeves tonight?
No.
Be a little chilly, right?
I would think so.
Poor little guy, anyway. Look, he's frozen stiff.
You had a bobblehead, right?
Yeah. You're getting a Reds bobblehead this week. I got a call with putting out a Reds bobblehead.
Really?
They must be really desperate, huh? Cincinnati. I wonder if I have my fro working in my Cincy bobblehead.
Well, I don't think Brian Price would want the local media to write about that.
No?
Because that's, you got to help the team. Well, maybe that would help the team, I guess. You dropped a lot of bombs in Cincinnati, huh?
Yeah. from what I hear.
Three-two. And Alex starts off the sixth with a walk.
Well, again, New York starting off with lead runner on, leadoff man getting on. You got to get some of these guys to touch home plate. Vivaldi a little breathing room here. You get sick of me here saying the same things, Flash, but it just seems like it's deja vu over again.
Well,
right?
You're saying them, I'm thinking them. I mean,
okay.
93 pitches for Lobstein. Here in the sixth inning, you only have 3 hits. You'd expect a lot more.
Teixeira pops it up. Let's see if the wind affects this one as Cabrera goes after it. And it brings it back, but he stays with this one for the first half.
It's frustrating as a hitter when you know, right when that ball is hit, you think it's in the stands, and then the wind brings it back.
Now here's McCann. Last time up, he tried to bunt to the left side with the shift on, but he couldn't get it past Lobstein. 3 infielders on the right side as Cabrera holds A-Rod at first.
The Tigers switch it up a little bit. Iglesias now playing just off of the cut of the grass at shortstop, protecting against the possibility of the bunt. Now, you like that play, right, Michael? The bunt, trying to get it by the pitcher?
I just like to loosen up the shift just a little bit. Do you like it?
I did. Yeah, it didn't work out, and you wonder if he's kind of kicking himself because he didn't get it past the pitcher.
And there the shift is going to work for them as they turn it into a double play. So you score that 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's 1-0 Yanks. Fastest, most reliable internet. Adam Warren will get the start for the Yankees against David Price, sporting a very skinny ERA. Our coverage begins at 6 right here on Yes. Game time will be right around 7:10. All the action with the three of us and Meredith Morakovitz on this channel. 1-0 Yankees, bottom of the 6th. There's David Price.
David Price is really good. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, early in the year, you get these weird numbers, Flash. You know, the hitters are hitting 550, and the pitchers got ERAs under 1.
0.4.
Yeah, 0.4. Half a run. You're going to give up a half a run. It's hard to do. And
pretty good in your free agent year. Anthony Ghost takes outside. I was reading a story where if he has just the David Price year, free agent at the end of this season, he will get somewhere in the Max Scherzer, Clayton Kershaw range, which is about $30 million a year.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
You were born a little too soon, Paul.
That's up in your work.
Oh, please.
Please.
That's Frank and Mary. That's not me.
I figure if you make $1 a show for all the shows you do, you're right there.
That's a little below that. 1-0 Yankees, bottom of the 6th. Top of the Tigers order against Nathan Eovaldi. Right back up the middle and through for base hit. Eovaldi just missed it as it came through the box. So Ghost now is 2 for 3.
Well, big inning for Eovaldi here. Obviously the lineup third time through. And Ghost just slaps it right back up the middle. Eovaldi couldn't come up with a play. Now things get a little bit tougher. You got the meat of the lineup coming up. You got some speed on the bases. Eovaldi has had to work awfully hard tonight. He'll have to continue here in the 6th.
If you're sitting on the bench ready to come out for this inning, you're looking at the top of the order and you're thinking, you know, I've got to get that leadoff guy. And you know, you look back, the ball wasn't hit that hard.
No.
It was a pretty good pitch.
Yep.
And off the plate, sometimes ground balls just find the hole. And he's handled Kinsler tonight, so this is the out that he needs. So he has a little wiggle room where some of the big boppers come up.
Ghost is a threat to go. And Eovaldi keeping him close. So the 6th hit for the Tigers. Yankees have 3, but they have the run coming in the first inning on the Teixeira double to drive home Brett Gardner. Let's see if the Yankees can turn 2 on this. There's 1 and there's 2. The double play has been the friend for Eovaldi.
I'll tell you what, I mean, he's got some big outs with Kinsler tonight, and he got it with a breaking ball. And then Stephen Drew, I tell you one thing, being a second baseman, to go over to play shortstop for one game, he's made some great defensive plays. And this is past experience, obviously, because his daily work is at second base now. To be able to do that when called, to go over and shortstop and make some of the plays he's made tonight. Big time.
It looked good on Yesmo, presented by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Well, Drew was the shortstop of a World Series winning team with the Red Sox. That is his position, and he's just moved to second because they have Gregorius starting there. Ground ball to Headley. And that'll do it. So a nice inning for Nathan Eovaldi. No runs, a hit, no errors, and because of the 4th DP, nobody left on base. Let's go to the 7th.
Mobile game changers of 4 double plays that Eovaldi has gotten. Kinsler in the first inning. And then Cespedes hits one right back to him. A line drive, finishes it off. Nice play by Mark Teixeira. We see another ground ball to short, 6-4-3. And then Kinsler for the second time to Drew Teeth. Over to Mark Teixeira. Your 4 double plays, your game changers.
And Brad Ausmus makes the Verizon call to the bullpen, so Kyle Lobstein is done, and they bring in Ian Kroll, one of the 3 left-handers in the bullpen. This will be his 5th game. Now, it's not easy to get double plays, and the Yankees got 3 yesterday and 4 today, and according to Katie Sharp, who's a great follow on Twitter for Yankee fan, this is the first time Yankee starting pitchers have gotten 3 or more grounded into double plays in back-to-back games since April 14th and 15th of 1973.
How do you even look that up?
Ask Katie.
Huh? All right, Katie, how do you look that up?
That's a long time. Count 3-1 on Young. That one is driven to left field. Going back, Cespedes on the track at the wall. See ya! A home run for Chris Young, and the Yankees double the lead. It's 2-0.
Tell you what, a big home run too. You get to the bullpen, you never know. Tell you what, the wind is for some reason pushing the ball to the left this series. Carry on that ball, but boy, I tell you what, he got out in front. The two-seamer stayed down, just got out, got the bat head out, drove it out of here.
Well, what a start for Chris Young. 4 home runs already. Weren't even expecting him to get a whole lot of playing time early on.
You might see more time if Beltran continues to swing the way he's swinging.
We always talk about the lefties like the ball down and in. The right-hander gets a fastball down and in, takes care of it.
Really not a bad pitch. Good piece of hitting. And again, you talk about 4 home runs, confidence, swinging the bat well. Big run. Baldy's, I mean, is pitching as well as he can, but you know, you'd like to have that a little bit of padding.
Well, Avila will go out and try to settle down Kroll, who's worked 3-0 on Headley.
A lot of times when you go to the bullpen, a lefties, you know, your lineup's set up against a lefty starter, you try to switch everybody, but you know, nothing was going wrong, so you bring in another lefty, first hitter, home run.
There's a strike to Headley. Three and 2. And the payoff. Skied the other way. It's going to be a long run for Martinez. He can't get there. It lands in foul territory. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. And the 3-2. Fouled away. Another left-hander, Tom Gorzolani, is up for the Tigers. There's up Blaine Hardy out there. Popped up. Kinsler makes the play. One down. So the Yankees lead 2-0. A run in the first and now a run in the seventh. Run in the first on a Teixeira double to right, scoring Gardner. This one on Chris Young's 4th home run of the year. Here Stephen Drew has certainly flashed a leather at short. Very slick at shortstop. 1 for 2 tonight at the plate.
You know what, Michael? He's done a great job at short tonight, but he's answered the question making that transition to second base, too, as far as I'm concerned. The Tampa Bay series, he was laying out all over the place, making the turn look easy. Nice flexibility, being able to flip over to the other side, play short, and make some great plays.
You know what? You can do this in high school and in junior high school. You can just put a good player anywhere. But, you know, to change a position day in and day out in the major leagues is very hard to do.
That one is drilled to right field. Martinez back, looking up. See ya! A home run for Stephen Drew. His 4th of the year, and it's 3-0 Yankees.
What a game for Drew defensively, and now his 4th home run. What a bullpen appearance for Kroll. Come in and give up a couple of home runs in a close game. And I tell you what, Girardi's got to be smiling right here to get those couple extra runs in the 7th. Fastball supposed to be away, kind of tails back in right into his swing. Oh, it's a good feeling when that clears the ball flash, huh?
All right, I'll ask you this, Paul. He had a terrible year offensively last year, right? Just hits his 4th home run. Obviously, he's pumped about that, but the batting average still down below 200. Is he officially back, or?
You know what? I think, you know, is he going to hit 30 home runs? To me, no. But, you know, he is filling up some of the columns positive. You know, hit some home runs. Is there time to be good offensively? I think so, because he's so good defensively.
Yep.
But, you know, you're still waiting for that, you know, the 250, 260, where you're really happy with it.
All right, so they've seen enough of Ian Kroll. He allowed a home run to Young and a home run to Drew. Yankees lead 3-0 as the Tigers go to the bullpen. Park. Our pregame coverage on Yes starts at 6 with Audi batting practice today and the Tri-State 4 pregame only on Yes. David Price going to start that game against Adam Warren. Starting to rain on the Tigers. And he's raining home runs on them this inning with 2 home runs to build the lead to 3-0. Another lefty, Tom Gorzolani, will come in to face Gregorio Petit. So Ian Kroll, a shaky 3rd of an inning. Petit 0 for 2 against the starter Lobstein. Tries to bunt, fouls it off.
go over and remind a pitcher in this position of all the, okay, now you've been battling all game. Now you've got a little lead. Don't change anything. You know, you've got to keep that mentality that, you know, every pitch means something.
Hammered foul.
I don't think you say anything to him in the dugout. You wait and see if he goes out there with that same intensity. If you notice a little difference, then you go out and speak to him. But I think the way it's going tonight, if you're Brian McCann, you're like, I'm just going to leave him alone.
You worry more about just continually calling the right pitches at this point. You sit still over there like a jumping bean in there. What's wrong with you?
Got a lot of things going on, Paul.
Well, you always do.
Yeah.
Sit still. Let's watch the game here.
Well, your back is to me anyway. Keep looking at Fleury.
Put me in my place there. Sorry, man.
2-2. 3-2.
Got a lot of things going on.
A lot of things. Juggling a lot of things in the air. And the payoff. Gorzolani fields for the second out.
Gorzolani, a lot of experience, was a starting pitcher in Pittsburgh, kind of bounced around the last couple of years. Off to a good start in the bullpen for the Tigers. Left-hander, you can do it all, right? Start for a couple of years, then move to the bullpen.
Extend your career, there's no doubt about it. There were some guys that you faced it. They were in the league before you got here. They're still throwing today.
Yeah.
It's just they never leave.
You ever wake up thinking about Jesse Orozco in the middle of the night?
You know what? In the nightmares, yeah. There were some guys that you wake up and think, man, I wish I could still hit him. But Orozco was just one of those guys that just got you out.
Well, you solved him toward the end, right? Got a big hit off him? Yeah.
I got a 3-run homer and they released him.
That told them all they needed to know.
Exactly. You can't get this dude out anymore. Go home. Pretty good career.
Yeah. Three 3-0 to Ellsbury. Ellsbury's 0 for 3 tonight.
Flash, some of those matchups you used to get, you know, when you were backing up once in a while, you know, and then all right, I'm excited I get a start, and then it's like against Clemens or against somebody. It's like, really? I mean, did you ever? You were just so happy to get in there for your start, or is it your matchups really meant something?
No, you know what? I actually, when Pedro Martinez got elected to the Hall of Fame, I wanted to see what my numbers were against him.
Yeah.
I had the most at-bats in my career against Pedro Martinez.
Nice.
And I started thinking, thank you to all those managers who threw me out there for that day.
Now, how'd you do?
And it was like 250, 240.
That's pretty good.
Not bad for Pedro Martinez.
So, you know, it's funny because I saw the Hall of Fame go in this year, and I thought, you know, Pedro, okay, I did all right off Pedro. John Smoltz, I did okay. Randy Johnson, all right, nothing. It's absolutely zero.
Zero. How many at-bats? Any idea?
Enough. Over 10. Over 15, over 16, something like that.
Jeff Jones will come out and talk with Gorzolani. I read a story today about your first game ever where you were kneeling behind the plate, and Matt Young was the pitcher.
Yep.
And Richie Garcia was the umpire, and Richie Garcia said to John, how you doing? And what'd you say?
I said, I'm scared to death. I'm terrified.
And then he proceeded to catch a no-hitter.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes.
You caught a no-hitter your
That they
first
lost.
game?
And lost.
Oh, that even makes it a better story, Flash. Wow.
Do you remember Matt Young?
Yeah, absolutely, I remember. He was wild, but he was wild good, you know?
He had great stuff.
Yeah.
94, 95, good slider, but could not throw the ball to first base.
Okay.
So we're playing against Cleveland. Kenny Lofton. 4 balls, steals second, steals third, ground ball 1-0. Next time up, steals second, steals third. Sack fly, we end up losing.
Called a good game, though, Flash. Good job.
8 walks, 6 stolen bases against me. But
it's on the pitcher though, Flash.
But part of that story, Richie Garcia put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "We'll get through it together." I was so scared I couldn't get the ball back to the pitcher. First day in the big leagues, all excited.
Hey, things tighten up, Michael. The ball, your hand just doesn't work the way it should when you're nervous out there.
How long did it take, John, to get into the flow and say this is baseball?
The second inning.
Yeah.
And Lofton walked on 4 pitches, and Matt couldn't throw to first base, and he steals. And I actually made a really good throw, and I kind of said, oh, okay, now I can relax a little bit. Then he steals third, and I make a good throw, and, safe again. Yeah, he stole 4 bases that day.
We just checked. We just checked. You weren't lying. He stole 4 bases.
Well, they had him there.
One of those games, good news, bad news. I get a hit my first at bat.
Nice.
Got that over with. Catch a no-hitter, but you lose and 6 guys steal against you, and you're supposed to be a defensive catcher. Nice start.
It is coming down pretty hard here now at Comerica. Fans scrambling for cover. Rain coming down from right to left. One and 0.
It's coming down from right field to left field or just sideways because it looks like it's blowing all over right now. But people in Detroit love this. They're used to it.
It's not Seattle, Paul.
Yeah, but it's almost May and it's raining sideways out here.
1-0.
Good swing, good pitch to hit.
Runner goes. The throw to second. A stolen base for Ellsbury. Ellsbury had been caught 3 out of the last 4 attempts, so he wanted to get back on the horse there. He had stolen 16 in a row before these last 4 where he got caught 3 times.
Yeah, good jump, and you want to see these guys run, especially when you get a 3-run lead now. It kind of opens the gates. Put the pressure on the Tigers.
Off the glove of Gorzolani. That's going to be a base hit as Ellsbury advances the third. First hit of the night for Gardner. And that's going to bring up A-Rod. And that's going to bring Brad Ausmus out of the dugout. And after this single, he is going to call for the right-hander Al Albuquerque. Yankees 2 runs in here in the 7th. Looking for more. First and third, 2 men out. It'll be Albuquerque against Rodriguez when we get back.
Off in the first game of the Subway Series. Our pregame coverage on Yes starts Friday at 6 o'clock. Then Al Leiter and Michael Kay will have the game. One call between these two crosstown rivals right here on Yes.
Well, as they brought in Albuquerque, the Tigers grounds crew came in to do some work on the field. They bring out the drying agent, and like most agents, it sucks up about 10%.
Nice. that was.
You like that?
Yeah, you thought about that years ago.
I've used it a couple
kept
times.
it in your holster for a long time.
This is the sixth game for Albuquerque. 3 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a 2.70 ERA. Crowd of 27,031 here at Comerica Park. Does that do anything, guys, when they put that stuff on, or does it just make it muddy?
You know, at this point, it does. It dries it. It makes it good. I mean, there comes a point where you get so much water, it just doesn't work anymore. But at this point, yeah. Do you agree, Flash?
I couldn't agree more, Paul.
Good. I was hoping you could make me look like a fool like that. I was running sprints between pitchers here.
Well, look at that flag out in left center field, straight out. Looks like it's almost being pulled off of the pole. It's
a little breezy.
It went up in the air.
It's like one of those spring training games where the wind's just howling out.
Pitch to A-Rod. Low. Alex is 0 for 2 with a walk. Hey, the story of these first 2 games so far is the Yankees starting pitching. You know, CeCe pitched a complete game yesterday. No bottom of the 9th inning, so he gave the bullpen a blow. And now Evaldi's giving him 6 strong. And this is not against the Tampa Bay Rays lineup. This is against the Detroit Tiger lineup that is feared throughout baseball. So good performance by the 2 Yankee starters, Adam Warren tomorrow and then Tanaka on Thursday afternoon. Runner goes from first. And the ball is off the glove of Avila. Heads up base running by Ellsbury as he goes quickly and scores. And Gardner will touch up on third. And it's 4-0 Yankees.
A-Rod's got to be thinking, you know, can somebody miss with a curveball other than me? We had 2 last night, 1 tonight.
We've seen this from Albuquerque in the past. I mean, a good arm, but all over the place. It's not even close with a slider. Avila can't make the play. Ellsbury scores. Gardner all the way to third. We said the bullpen last night for the Tigers would be a question mark this year. A tough night tonight.
That was almost another one.
Well, Albuquerque's come in and thrown 2 balls in the dirt and 1 to the screen.
If you're catching tonight like Avila is, you're like a hockey goaltender over with the Red Wings, man. You're expecting it everywhere.
You ever go out there, Flash, for a meeting? It's just like, really? I mean,
come on, man.
Are you trying here? You bounced 2 of them, threw one 6 feet over my head.
Might be more uncomfortable if you're hitting right here, right?
Yeah.
You're definitely not digging in.
No, 3-0. Are you zoning in right down the middle? I don't think so.
A-Rod works his second walk. For the Yankee offense, this is an explosion so far in this series. 3 runs in the 7th. It's 4-0 in the game. Lost last night's game 2-1. Teixeira takes low. Well, this is the concern for the Tigers. They've got the starting pitching, it seems like. The offense, there's nothing that you could wonder about that, but is their bullpen good enough? It seems to be the thing that they try to cut cost on is their bullpen. Ooh. Good movement of the feet there by Teixeira to get out of the way.
Great job by Teixeira to get out of the way, and then Avila just fighting for his life back there. Comes up with it.
We got bodies going separate directions here.
Jeff Jones going to come out and talk with Albuquerque.
Remember the monkey roll? Did you ever do the monkey roll in football?
No, what's the monkey roll?
You have to jump over and roll before the other guy jumps over and rolls you. Did you ever play football, Mike?
Oh, many times.
Really?
Professionally, you didn't know?
No. I could just see you in one of those leather helmets right now.
That's a lot of leather. It's one big dead cow.
Yeah,
well, there's the final
roll.
lefty, Blaine Hardy. I'd never heard of a monkey roll. John, had you heard of a monkey roll?
I have never heard of a monkey roll.
Really, it's three people, and you're on the ground. One gets up, and they jump over, and they roll, and the other guy gets up and jumps. It's a football drill.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
How about Bull in the Ring? Did you ever play Bull in the Ring?
No.
Oh, no, that was bad. The whole team would be in a circle, one guy in the middle, and they'd yell a number, and everybody had a number. Well, somebody would stomp their foot to make you look, and that guy would, like, crush you from behind. These great football drills. That's why I started playing baseball.
So Teixeira walks to load the bases. And that's going to bring up Brian McCann. Let's see if they stay with Albuquerque. I don't know if they can get away with that last drill anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, since everything, they might have gotten away from a few of these drills.
Might be a good idea. They might be giving Blaine Hardy some extra time to warm up here as Avila standing out on the mound and forcing Will Little to come out and break it up.
I think Avila will gladly go out there and give him a little more time to get a new pitcher in this game.
And Brett Ausmus is going to take out Albuquerque. So he's going to use his fourth pitcher of the inning. Lobstein went 6, giving up 1 run. Now 4 guys are really struggling. The chance, 2 balls over the wall, walks, wild pitches, 4 pitchers, and now it's time for Blaine Hardy, so they use all 3 lefties in this inning. Albuquerque just didn't have it, and you see this will be the 4th game for Blaine Hardy. We mentioned about the Tiger bullpen. Their closer right now is Soria. Joe Nathan is due back at any time. He has really, really struggled, not the pitcher that he once was. And, they might get to the playoffs, but in short series, you need a bullpen. And we saw that with the Kansas City Royals, how far our bullpen took them to the 7th game of the World Series. But We'll see if they improve it as the season goes on. Here's McCann, the 9th batter to come to the plate.
And Michael, to add to your point, the reason you need that good bullpen is because you're going to have nights like this where, especially in the playoffs, where you face good pitching that shut down that great offense. And, your bullpen has to keep you close. And all of a sudden, that 1-0 game turns into 4-0. Big difference.
Well, is there anything more deflating when you have a good team and you give away leads late? It'll divide a team.
Well, I saw the great numbers there for McCann with the bases loaded. 347 and 10 grand slams. Hey, Paul, you have 4 World Series rings, in large part because of a great bullpen.
In New York, absolutely.
Mariano and the Nasty Boys in Cincinnati, the 5th. So all championship teams have a great bullpen.
There's no doubt. And you know what? Looking back, I just did a call-in show. They're talking about the Reds reunion and what that team was. And in my mind, 1990 really kind of changed baseball. I mean, people had good closers at that time, but they didn't have bullpens and bridges to get to the closers like a lot of people emulated after that Reds team. You had Randy Myers, Norm Charlton, Rob Dibble. It could, in the playoffs, it could be a 6-inning game. And now teams, really good teams, have got to that.
Ground ball is short. Iglesias will step on second for the force, and that will do it. For the Yankees, get 3 runs, a couple of home runs, and they leave the bases loaded. Time for the 7th inning stretch.
Really working hard.
They're really working hard. That's great. We're working hard here, and the Nissan game summary tells you the Yankees are up 4-0. Each team with 6 hits. Evaldi's pitched very well. Young and Drew, each with solo home runs. Teixeira with an RBI double, and the other run scored on a wild pitch. So the Yankees have given Evaldi and the Yankee bullpen a little bit of breathing room going into the bottom of the 7th.
Well, those boys might have fooled you. They're not fooling me. They didn't want any Reese cups on their cufflinks. Just pull those sleeves up a little bit. Relax a little bit. The Yankees got a bigger lead.
Here is Victor Martinez to lead off against Evaldi.
Yeah, but can you really relax a 4-run lead? You're Evaldi right here. He's still got some big boys in this lineup. We'll see if he keeps that focus here in the 7th. Good start.
98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Get a little extra rest in that inning.
Right.
Pump one in at 98, huh?
So he's not relaxing.
It's almost good that Victor Martinez is leading off. If you're catching, we talked about it, is Evaldi, if he's able to keep, well, one of the better hitters in the game leads off, sure, you'll keep your concentration. the first ball right there. Look at the movement there.
Great movement.
A true two-seam movement there. The first time all night you saw that kind of downward movement with his fastball. Cam wants this in the dirt. Good glitch. Good plitch. Did you hear that?
I think Bob has rolled the sleeves back up a little bit more. Now they're up to the elbows. He's got something to tell us, right, Bob?
Really? Two jabs in one little Bob Lorenz.
One little mistake and he jumped all over.
Wow. See, I told you. They got way too much time on their hands. You call a big plitch and you never hear the end of it, right?
Why'd he get on you about the monkey rolls? You were educating us.
Exactly. Going back to my little Northland Packers Little League football.
That one gets past Gardner off the bat of J.D. Martinez. And it is a double for Martinez with one out here in the seventh.
He struck Martinez out on a good breaking ball. Doesn't end. There, Brett Gardner can't get the angle to cut that off. It gets to the wall. It's an easy double.
Here is Yoenis Cespedes. He's hit into two double plays. One line back to the mound, the other one a 6-4-3 double play. And there's a strike.
Boy, ever since like the third or fourth inning, he's been able to start guys off, with that breaking ball for a strike, and it's really added to, what these guys come to the plate thinking about. It's not dead fastball first pitch. Those two good pitches right there. Good breaking ball and then 95 right on the outside corner.
Pitcher's pitch right there, and you look at the pitch count, it's in great shape at this point, and because of a lot of the double plays, but only walked one batter really attacking. This game might do a lot for that young man's confidence.
That gets away from McCann, allowing Martinez to go to third.
It's going to be a wild pitch, and we'll take another look. Eovaldi kind of spikes a slider down there. McCann kind of caught in between whether he wanted to pick it or get out there and block it.
I know how hard that is, a curveball down in the dirt to try to block it. Do you look at this replay as a catcher and think, you know what, I blocked that most of the time, or that's a tough play?
I would be disappointed that I didn't block that. And for the main reason, it's an 0-2 breaking ball that you want to be in the dirt.
That one is hammered into center field. And Ellsbury makes the sliding catch. Tagging is J.D. Martinez. He'll score. So an RBI for Cespedes. First run for the Tigers. Yankees lead 4-1.
I'll tell you what, that ball was hit right on the nose. And Ellsbury does a great job. In the back of your mind as an outfielder, you know somebody's on third. But, when they're hit this hard right in front of you, they kind of knuckle and they kind of, it's not a true... You don't get a true read on it. And just make sure you catch the ball. You've got no chance throwing that guy out at the plate. Stay with it. Good play. It's funny, the running play he made last night into right center, those make the highlight reels because, they're so athletic and how much room. But that play right there, that ball right in front of you, it's just hit right on the nose. Very difficult play. Because it just, the ball moves a lot right in front of you.
So it might be a tougher play, that play right there, although it doesn't look as...
Yeah, the ball right in front, for some reason, you kind of lose at the end because you can't get to the side of it, and it was always the toughest play for me. And I just know playing center field when the ball's hit that hard, you know, sometimes they hit it so square that the ball actually knuckles a little bit.
That's the play. There's a strike.
I tell you can only be impressed with what Eovaldi has done tonight. I mean, he's had innings where he's had a great curveball, but he's had that good fastball all night. He seems to be locating it better as the game went on. First inning, a lot of middle of the plate pitches. He's gotten away from that.
That was an interesting pitch selection right there. Your 3-run lead, 2 outs in the 7th. He went with a breaking ball and he missed. Expect him to challenge Castellanos right here with a fastball with a 3-run lead.
Three and two.
Tell you what, 97 in the 7th after a long break. I mean, he's no problem keeping his velocity.
Chris Martin up for the Yanks. Fly ball right field. Young had him played well, heads toward the line and makes the play for the final out of the 7th. A strong 7 innings for Eovaldi. 7 innings, 1 run. We go to the 8th. He leads 4-1. Four to 1, trying to even up this series at a game apiece. And then there's a game tomorrow night with David Price on the mound for the Tigers against Adam Warren. And then Anibal Sanchez on Thursday afternoon will oppose Masahiro Tanaka. Here's Chris Young. He's had a good night for the Yanks. 2 for 2 with a walk, a home run.
This night could get better for Chris Young, too. He gets opportunities against all left-handed pitchers tonight. Brad Osmus using all 3 lefties out of his pen. Chris Young doesn't have to worry about the right-handed breaking ball.
Fly ball shallow center. And Ghost cannot make the play. Young's going to go for 2. and he's going to make it. So a bloop double for Chris Young, who's 3 for 3.
Came a long way, but I tell you one thing, he got a bad break. He went back. A lot of times it fools you on a full swing, and you see you break back, and that first step kills you, and you just can't make up for it. I tell you, when you're going well at the plate, Flash, just good things happen.
Two and one.
Watch Headley from the right side. He definitely has a little more glide forward than he does from the left side. Uses his hands well, hitting left-handed and right-handed. He kind of dives a little bit more. 0 for 3 tonight. Good hitters count here.
And Headley walks.
Same thing with Drew. Lefties all night, but he's had great swings. Pretty much had a pretty good game all around. Good at the plate, good in the field.
Now, what time, at point, should I say that the Yankees say, okay, Chris Young keeps playing because Carlos Beltran's not hitting, or do you have to send out the veteran with the big contract and get him straightened out? Same thing with Drew and Gregorius.
I think you play hot streaks. I mean, Chris Young continues this all year. He's going to break the home run record. But, you know, if he starts off with a good month, sure, you get him every at-bat you can until other guys get their stuff going.
Well, tomorrow they probably sit down Ellsbury or Gardner against Price, and then they'll have Beltran play right, and Young would play left. And the same question, although it's not a veteran this time, but your anointed shortstop has struggled. Really struggled. He got a hit yesterday in a big spot. But do you keep playing Drew, who might be Gregorius' equal defensively? Maybe not as much range, but very slick at shortstop. So these are decisions Joe Girardi will have to make. High pop-up. Infield fly rule was called as Kinsler makes the play. Joe Girardi finally has some runs to work with after yesterday not really having much to do. Didn't go to the bullpen, kept CeCe in there, who pitched very well. Lost 2-1, so leading this one 4-1. Now, do they send Eovaldi out to pitch the 8th?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, this is 2 innings in a row that he's had, you know, long rest. cold night. I mean, the best way. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more than the way he's throwing the ball tonight.
And don't you think part of it is, if you're Joe Girardi, you say 7 innings, 1 run against this lineup, and get him out on a positive note when you didn't have to use your bullpen last night.
Yankees get Dylan Betances up.
Yeah, I just don't think you warm Betances up unless he's coming in. Well, you can tell when two pitchers are really pitching well. You're both your starters all the way through the set. How quick the game goes, the pace of the game. All of a sudden, you've gone to the bullpen. Tigers bullpen have struggled. The game just goes, it just slows down. Can't throw strikes, guys getting hits, home runs. It just, everything of the pace just starts. It all goes with the pitching.
Strike 3, Petit down looking. And you could hear Petit up here go, oh.
He didn't like it, must have been down, had a lot of the plate. Looks a little low to me, but yeah, that's definitely down. That's a tough pitch to hit as a hitter. Especially when you're kind of a spot starter, you hope you don't get in that position where the umpire can take one of your forward bats away. Good position for Ellsbury to get that number out of his head of not driving in a run. Got an opportunity here. A little more relaxed with the 4-run lead, but you know those things start eating at you. You know, don't think that players don't realize that those things aren't happening. Michael Kay usually would remind me of those things in the locker room that were going on.
And you would handle it very well. 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position, but he hasn't been able to get a ribby out of it. Popped up. Let's see if that stays in play. Castellanos over the dugout. Ellsbury's 0 for 3 with a walk, stolen base, and a run scored. That one's popped up. Iglesias is there, puts it away, and that will do it. So the Yankee threat goes by the boards. No runs a hit, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees up 4-1. Nobody comes out to start the bottom of the 8th, and Dellin Betances is ready. For the Tigers, it'll be 8-9-1 in their order, starting with Alex Avila. Hyundai scoreboard 4-7-0 Yanks, 1-7-0 for the Tigers. Avila is 1 for 2. Now, Meredith Marakovitz has some updates of the injured guys down in Tampa. What's up with them, Meredith?
Michael, a lot of guys making some progress. Ivan Nova threw a live batting practice session again today. 35 pitches, 2 innings, so he continues to progress. Didn't feel anything in that elbow. Also, Chris Capuano is slated to throw in an extended spring game tomorrow. He'll go 7 innings, so he's a little bit further ahead of Nova, but he pretty much had to start over as far as building up the arm strength and getting going. Also, Brendan Ryan now down in Tampa. He's been taking some ground balls, and Jose Perella played in an extended spring game, had a couple of at-bats. He'll continue to do that for the next couple of days.
Boy, Perella's really taken a long time to recover from that concussion at Port St. Lucie. It's amazing. Let's hope he's okay, but you said he's starting to get into physical activity.
Yeah, he had some at-bats today, and it's his first at-bat. He actually got hit in the arm, not his head, thankfully. But, you know, you look at that and you're like, oh, you don't want this guy to get hit again or hurt again. He went 1 for 3 in today's game. He played about 5 innings. So that's something that they're extremely cautious with. Even when they're kid, they want to make sure every time they're out there, they respond okay. They don't have any dizziness, they don't feel nauseous. They just want to be safe when you're dealing with a concussion.
More from Meredith on the post-game show as Avila fouls it away. And for Perella, was unfortunate because they were trying to make him that super utility guy that could play the outfield, and he's an infielder by trade. He's playing center field, and he runs into the wall trying to catch a ball. And it wasn't the wall that caused the concussion. It was the landing where his head kind of whiplashed back on the field. Two.
Oh, Baldy still has plenty on the fastball, 97 miles an hour. Pitch count getting close to 100. A little surprised they sent him back out there to start the 8th inning.
Yeah, you know, the only thing I can think about is you're thinking about Betances for tomorrow. Maybe if you just get him in for a hitter tonight. But yeah, the breaks. But you know, the pitch count coming into the inning, you know, in the 80s, he's been so good tonight. You don't want anything to ruin it. That fellow right there has a better idea than we do.
Yes, he does.
Driven out to left field. Going back is Gardner. It's going to be over his head and up against the wall. Gardner plays the carry quickly, fires into second, and Avila with a leadoff double. That'll probably make the decision for Girardi, as he will go and get the ball from Eovaldi, who has pitched very well, and now turn it over to the Yankee bullpen to get the final 6 outs, starting with Dellin Betances. Chrysler. Visit Chrysler.com or your local dealer today. By People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. We are in the Motor City. Yankees lead this one 4-1, bottom of the 8th inning. A leadoff double by Alex Avila has chased Eovaldi from the game. 7+ innings, 8 hits, a run. The runner at second, his responsibility. Just 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and an economical 94 pitches. And now they turn it over to Dellin Betances. Dellin still has not pitched the way Dellin pitched last year with the 7 walks, but he hasn't allowed a run yet in 6 games and has a 2-0 record.
So his last outing in Tampa Bay and really got on relying on that curveball. Kind of got away from the power fastball to get ahead.
Popped up. Teixeira there and makes the play in foul territory for the first out.
You can only be happy for Eovaldi if you're Joe Girardi. Larry Rothschild, I mean, he had an opportunity a few times to kind of cave in. They had some things going, and double play ball really helped him out. And then he pitched well with the lead, too. I mean, he challenged guys.
You know, I think back to that 6th inning when Ghost led off with a base hit, a 1-run game, and then he gets a ground ball double play. And ever since then, it was like, oh, this guy could pitch out of some jams.
Seems like he's been sitting comfortably at 94 with the fastball. Last year, he would hit triple digits every now and then, but he has been effective getting people out, using the breaking ball.
Well, Paul's right. It was his last outing Sunday in Tampa. A lot of off-speed pitches. But it's not that big curveball we saw last year. It almost looks more like a tighter slider. There's a good curveball right there. He doesn't get the call. But that's more the break we saw last year.
He tried tight strike zone today. I mean, that ball right there you see called a lot. In fact, you see that ball swung a lot, especially by left-handed hitters. That ball down and in.
2-2.
6.
Gets that one up to 96, as Paul said. Yankees leading 4-1, trying to even the series at a game apiece. Weak hack there at the breaking ball. 2 away.
Well, I think the good signs tonight from Dellin, but just on the breaking ball. Obviously, the velocity's good, but these 2 breaking balls that he threw, that's what we were seeing last year, that 12-6 action and swings like that against it.
Yeah, that's an uncomfortable swing right there. Start seeing swings like that and a guy coming at you with a fastball knowing he can strike out, it puts the hitters in such a defensive mode.
There's a strike.
Tough pitches as a hitter. You know, I always say that, you know, you're going to get a pitch to hit no matter who's pitching, but so far Kinsler has not. 2 sliders, curveballs, whatever, right on the outside corner.
Avila leads off second with 2 outs. The 1-2 to Kinsler. And another weak hack. 2 awfully weak hacks, one by Gosa, one by Kinsler. And Eovaldi breathed a sigh of relief. An impressive inning for Dellin Betances. We go to the 9th. Highlights from around the major leagues. Plus, you can hear Joe Girardi's manager's report, and Meredith Marakovitz talks to the players in the clubhouse. It's all coming up right here on Yes. And it's starting to rain again here at Comerica as we start in the 9th inning. Andrew Miller, who has not been anointed the closer, but has been closing the games, getting ready for the Yankees.
Tiger's mad. Look at that. Didn't like it wet.
It was a base hit for Brett Gardner, his second hit of the night. He's 2 for 4 with a walk. Doesn't this seem, I don't know if it seems like it to you guys, as the Tiger Paul's talking about, it seems like the Yankees are blowing out the Tigers, but it's just 4-1.
Last night was a 1-run game all the way to the end. Tonight, 1-run game into the 6th or 7th. I mean, yeah, all of a sudden you score a few runs and you think you keep forgetting, and you got to remind yourself, I mean, this is still a 4-1 game.
It's the middle of the lineup coming up, the bottom of the 9th for the Tigers.
They could use a couple of runs. Here's Alex Rodriguez. He's walked twice. He's 0 for 2. Way out in front of that off-speed pitch.
Alex cheating for a first pitch fastball. He doesn't get it. Good changeup from Hardy.
Quick throw to first.
Two off-speed pitches. Alex looks like he's looking for that fastball, something he can turn on.
High fly ball, deep left. Backing up Cespedes on the track. He'll make the play up against the wall. Tagging is Gardner, and he'll get to second. Well, the wind has been very hard to read from up here, and that ball looked like it was going to go for a moment.
Looked like he got an extra jump at the end. And, you know, Brett Gardner, when he tags up on this ball, you know, it's a good play, but you got to direct Alex Rodriguez. See him kind of turn that ball over just off the end of the bat enough. And if you're Brett Gardner, you got to make sure if you're tagging that Alex Rodriguez does not go by you watching the ball at first base.
Teixeira takes a strike. Marks 1 for 2 with 2 walks tonight.
Nice easy tag up. Hey, you know, that's kind of a newer play in baseball, but you know, you have to get a good read as a runner. But I think you know, it's a good play. It's just like stealing a base. I mean, the outfielder has no chance backing up to set up, throw you out at second base. That ball basically was going to be a home run or caught. I mean, that's just the way it was.
And we were taught coming up through the minor leagues, you go halfway, right?
Yeah.
And read it.
Yeah. You go halfway and read it, you don't have time to get back to first base and tag.
So Teixeira down on strikes, and that'll bring up McCann. Gardner at second. McCann is 0 for 4 tonight.
These are the at-bats can make such a big difference in somebody's year. And Brian McCann 0 for 4 tonight. Like you said, Michael, would love to give the Yankees another run right here, but try to salvage your night. Maybe a knock and an RBI. You go back to the hotel feeling good.
So amazing. You know, you get to hit your first time up and then you go home 1 for 5. You're so disappointed. Yep. You're 0 for 4 and you get a hit, you go back 1 for 5. You're like, you can't wait to get to the park tomorrow.
Grounded sharply and past Castellanos into left field. That will score Gardner. We'll see how it's scored, but the Yankees have a 5-1 lead. That was a hot shot to the third baseman who could not handle it.
Well, you got to like the approach for Brian McCann off of the left-handed pitcher. Just let it travel a little bit, drive it the other way. Up, out over the plate, head down.
Ball hit hard, and you know that ball up and away to lefties from a left-handed hitter, you just see it a little bit better as a hitter. The ball down and away, I don't know why, it just the ball up from a lefty just was a better pitch to hit.
That brings up Chris Young. Young 3 for 3. He's a triple away from the cycle. Also has a walk.
Scored a hitter in there, Mike.
Well, they have not.
Nothing yet.
They have not shown anything on the board yet.
I'm rooting for a hit, just to tell you the truth.
In on the hands. And they give an error to Castellanos. That will go up in a second.
All right, so I ask you this, Paul. You hit that ball. You know it's questionable, right? Could be a hit, could be an error. You round first base. Do you look up at the scoreboard to see if there are any errors?
You know, the thing is, though, you might look up at the scoreboard, but then you can't keep track. Are there any errors before this or that? I mean, obviously, every ball you hit hard as a hitter, you want to hit. And, you know, then you just, as a manager, I think you have to keep up with these things, too. Managers can actually question these things and get them changed sometimes. And I think it's very important to stick up for your players. And you know, an extra hitter there can put a player in a good frame of mind.
Well, they are not putting that up on the board. It was announced by the official scorer E5 and the scoreboard operator refusing to put it up there.
Well, think about it now. Brian McCann is 0 for 5, right? Instead of 1 for 5 with an RBI.
And he thinks he sees no errors up there, so he thinks
he's thinking I might be in good shape.
And he pick up the paper tomorrow, and you're sick to your stomach again. Really? Pancakes don't even taste good. Wow. Hey, rumor has it you were riding a bike today in the gym or running? What was it?
The bike. The bike.
Check in there tomorrow to see if you're around.
John Flaherty worked out today, short and t-shirts, running in the city of Detroit at freezing. Tells you a lot.
You know what? It tells me I didn't prepare and bring the appropriate clothing.
It also keeps you safe, though, Flash, because people look at you and like, this guy's nuts, man. Anybody running around Detroit in shorts this time of year, there's something wrong with it.
So Chris Young continues his perfect night. He draws a walk, and that'll bring up Headley.
Well, Headley's kind of in the same boat that McCann was in, 0 for 3, but now a big at-bat opportunity to drive in a run. Like I said, early in the year, you know, things change so much. A hit can add 10 points and an RBI. You just want to continue to add stuff every single day as the team is winning.
They finally put it up there.
Oh.
Now, luckily, McCann's back is turned. Now also down to 42 degrees here at Comerica. Count 1-1. Headley reached on a fielder's choice, a pop up the second that was dropped by Kinsler on purpose. Wrapped into a 5-4-3 double play and then popped the second and walked. He's going to pop up again. Again to the right side. Again Kinsler. And again Kinsler makes the catch. And that'll do it. But the Yankees get an insurance run. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Safe situation, so they don't want to waste Miller in a non-safe situation, so they will call on Chris Martin. But Miller is looming if anybody gets on, or a couple of people get on. Martin's pitched well. 7 strikeouts in 5 2/3. 4 hits and a walk. So on a cold day, they bring in Chris Martin. And he will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Tigers' order.
See what he did there? Did you hear that?
What?
On a cold day, they bring in Chris Martin. You're a music guy. You should get that.
He still doesn't get it. Chris Martin's the lead singer on Coldplay.
I don't know that. That surprises me.
Really?
No. Right over my head.
Wow. This guy runs karaoke parties at his house. He doesn't know about Coldplay?
Feel, but you know what? You know why? Because I'm in Motown, man. Motown's on my mind.
Okay.
I'm thinking about Smokey Robinson and guys like that.
Here's Miguel Cabrera against Martin. Thank you, John, for getting it.
Wow, Flash, that's impressive. You just jumped right in here.
know, I was thinking about you the other day in Tampa Bay. Go walk into the clubhouse underneath, and somebody's just jamming on the drums.
Really?
Just beating them up. Being told it's Evan Longoria plays them before the game. I was thinking of you, Big O'Neill.
Yeah, just to beat those skins a little bit. Nothing like a little pregame.
It was pregame, not postgame?
Rain delay, we would play pregame. Postgame, go down there and do some frustration rolls. You know, it's funny because out of that group, we had myself on the drums, Wetland playing guitar, and Bertie Williams. Bertie Williams has won a Grammy now, and Wetland and I are at home. So obviously our musical talent wasn't up to par.
Now, I once asked Paul Simon, I said, is Bertie Williams like good as a guitarist because he's an ex-baseball player? And he goes, no. Bertie Williams is a great guitarist no matter what he did for me.
That's amazing. You know, I thought it was me in the backbeat of the band, Michael. Got showed up by my guitar player.
Here's the 2-2. Strike 3. Cabrera down looking. Not in love with that call.
Pretty good pitch. Held it. He was waiting to hear, but he wasn't going to wait around. He got out of there and threw it to third base.
Here's Victor Martinez. Count 1-1.
You watch Martin pitch. I mean, he's such a tall man and creates a good angle down the hill. Mixes in a nice cutter at about 86, 87, and then has that good slider. He's been impressive early on for the Yankees.
Two-1. Back at it again tomorrow. Our coverage starts at 6. It'll be David Price against Adam Warren. And then the game 4 will be an afternoon game, which begins at 1. And Masahiro Tanaka will go up against Anibal Sanchez. Skied the other way and makes the Siege foul. Yankees lead 5-1. Each team with 8 hits. Tigers with 1 error. The Yankees again a clean game in the field. Swing and a miss. Yankee pitching 4 strikeouts in a row. 2 by Betances, 2 by Martin.
Martin's made some good pitches here to some good hitters. You see that little back door. Cut fastball.
Pretty good night to be a pitching coach, huh?
Yeah, makes you feel good about yourself. And I'll tell you what, if you're Adam Warren, you're thinking about tomorrow. Well, either I are getting these guys where they're not swinging the bats or they're due to throw up some big numbers. So
A strike to J.D. Martinez. He scored the only run for the Tigers. That came in the 7th inning. He doubled to left, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and scored on a line drive to center off the bat of Yoenis Cespedes. That's the only blemish on Evaldi's night, who was poised to pick up his first Yankee win. Count 2-1. And the pitch. Line drive, a base hit from Martinez. Keeps the Tigers alive. It's his third hit of the night.
We did the hitter scatter report on J.D. Martinez, and he has not disappointed tonight. 3 hits. Fastball just right out over the plate. A little bit quick off the end of the bat.
Well, here's Cespedes against Martin. Good fastball by Martin, 95 miles an hour. So he throws hard, and as John said, tall guy, comes at different angles, pitches downhill. Petit shades up the middle for the right-handed swinging Cespedes. They do not hold the runner on at first. Ground ball, fair, down the left field line. Playing off the sidewall will be Brett Gardner. J.D. Martinez will stop at third. It's a double for Cespedes. And you might be seeing Andrew Miller in a moment. And you will be, because with a 4-run lead, that means the tying run would be on deck. Now it is a safe situation. So after this double that got past Headley, Joe Girardi signals for his closer, Andrew Miller. It'll be Miller against Castellanos with runners on second and third here in the bottom of the ninth. Andrew Miller has been as advertised when the Yankees signed him to the 4-year deal as a free agent during the offseason. And in 2006, he was a first-round draft pick for the Tigers, the 6th pick in the first round. And there's some pretty good pitchers and one good hitter that came out of that draft. So can he close it right here for the Yankees? And he has to face Castellanos, who is 1 for 3 tonight. So second and third, 2 outs. Yankees lead 5-1 and out away. Foul back to the screen, 95 miles an hour. Now his 95 probably plays a little bit faster than Eovaldi's 97, as a short stride kind of hides the ball.
I'll tell you what, as a left-hander, it's a nightmare because he kind of, throws just enough sidearm where you don't pick it up as well. One of those guys you're better off watching from the booth than you are hitting as a lefty.
One strike away.
has that devastating slider, but he's got back-to-back fastballs with a 4-run lead. You have that luxury. I'd expect a slider here.
And I'll tell you what, if you're a hitter, you've been behind 2 fastballs, and a slider down and in is really going to tie you up. Hung it a little bit, didn't get it in there.
Still 1-2. Miller deals. Check swing. Did he go? No. Most of the Yankees were taking steps toward the dugout. Jerry Davis said no. And that angle looked like he went around.
I think Drew Girardi's reactions over the years have gotten better and better.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. And now the count 3-2. Rajai Davis is on deck to pinch hit for Avila. Runners lead off second and third. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. 5-1 Yanks. Pitch. He walked him to load the bases.
To the slider, 3-2. Seven pitch at bat. I think he threw a slider for a strike. They were all fastballs for strikes, and he missed with the sliders.
Pretty good at bat right here, too. Fouling off some pitches and taking this 3-2 slider.
He shook off McCann to get to it. So McCann was thinking kind of, fastball. Let's see if we can get an out here.
Davis takes outside.
Well, Davis not known as a guy who has a lot of power. 1 home run already this year.
Davis is 1 for 2 career against Miller.
Oh, good job by Brian McCann going out here and settling down Andrew Miller. Missed badly on that last fastball.
Well, he is a tying run, so those numbers significant. That's how close this game really is, that the Tigers have worked the tying run to the plate, and he has a 2-0 count. They want to be careful here. You worry if they give him a green light and you throw one right down the middle. No green light. He takes a fastball strike, so it's 3-1. And Jose Iglesias is on deck. And the pitch. Let's see who that got.
McCann got crossed up.
So a walk to Davis that forces in a run. And the Tigers now trail 5-2. And Steve Donahue will come out and check with McCann. Let's take a look where it got him.
Yeah, it looks like Brian McCann got crossed up. I don't know if he was expecting a slider, but he got a fastball. Right off of the knee, the shin guard. The pitch is called the ball. It didn't look like that bad of a pitch if he was able to be on the right page.
So a pinch hit walk and an RBI for Davis. And here is Jose Iglesias. Nail biting time for the Yankees. Missed outside.
I mentioned Davis, who just walked, doesn't have a lot of power, but he has plenty of speed. Iglesias can hit a gap. He's got a chance to score from first base.
There's a strike.
One of the bigger ballparks, 4 gaps. I mean, you look at the outfield and you think nothing over your head, but you know, Ellsbury with 420 feet, you know, there's still plenty of room.
Again, a strike away. James McCann comes out on deck for the Tigers. He would pinch hit for Anthony Gose. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And the 1-2. He struck him out, and the Yankees hold on. A foul tip held on to by McCann, and the Yankees win the game by a score of 5-2, and they can exhale. That was a little closer than they would have liked, but here's how it ended.
Yeah, he finally went with the slider, and he threw the best one of the inning right there to Iglesias. A couple of fastballs, and McCann, who got through the inning healthy after that scary cross-up, able to make a nice catch on the foul tip.
So Andrew Miller now 5 for 5 in save opportunities. A big game for Chris Young. Nathan Eovaldi was outstanding for the Yankees, picking up his first Yankee win. 2